Hello, everyone. My name is Asgrav or Adam, and this is Enigma or Kian.
Hello.
And welcome to a Division 2 Irish Dota League Season 4 matchup. This is Cavan Champions against The Void, an exciting two gamer we're going to watch today. And I'm delighted to be joined by Kian. How are you today, Kian?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Very excited
Good.
for this game.
Do you have anything to preface this matchup here today?
Um, I think just the importance of this matchup for both teams in terms of standings. Currently, Cavan are sitting second on the table, and a win here would put them level with Creep Enjoyers on top. And then for Void, a win here would put them up alongside Cavan in second place. So, very important game. Both these teams looking to get the most out of this.
Cool, for sure. And I think I'm not sure if it's true, but I think almost at least I think every bar one or maybe every series in Division Two so far has been a 1-1 series. So we'll be interested to see today if that is continued or if we break that trend. If we want to look at the bans real quick, I know we as we some context today. Also, it's worth saying that on the side of the Void, their POS 5 player was not available today. So Imprint PK or Patter, as you might see on the screen, is filling in for their POS 5 player. He's a Division 3 player playing for Imprint Esports, which me and Kian also play for. So it's a bit of a fact for you. And then on Cavan Champions, they have their normal team, so nothing too crazy there. If we look at the bans on the Void, we can give a little bit of context there. I know that Clockwork and Hoodwink are both pretty popular heroes for Cavan Champions. I think Jojo has played both heroes, and he's played really well with both. So those are probably two. They're pretty normal bans from Void if they think they. I think Cavan usually take a Jojo hero in the first pick, right, Kian, as well. So maybe that they're starting off. They don't want him on one of his power heroes straight away.
Yeah, from most of the times that we play against them, they're pretty comfortable taking up the pos 4 or even the pos 5 sometimes early on in the game. You see Nyx and Lich both banned out from Cavan as well, two very strong supports, um, who if they're utilized well can really turn a game.
For sure. Do you know? So we saw a first ban from Cavan on the Lone Druid. Now, obviously, we play in Division 3, so I don't have as much research done on these Div 2 teams. But do you know if the Void have a Lone Druid
The
player?
Void, I think the Heron
Okay.
plays a bit of Lone Druid. Now I
So he
don't
plays Pos
know.
1, does he?
Yeah,
Okay.
um, I don't know if he's played it in any of the league games so far. But when I was looking up, doing a bit of research on them, I did see Lone Druid up there. Now I think the side of the Void are very. They seem to have a lot deeper hero pools or a lot more variation in what they play.
Okay.
Whereas Calvin have a few heroes that they stick to.
Okay, so they go for the first pick
First
Alchemist
pick
on the
out.
side of Cavan, which has been a common enough strat on by teams in, I mean, both pro teams and in the Irish Dota League. And now, what does happen is if you do first pick this Alk, you do leave yourself open to the counter pick Doom or the counter pick Ancient Apparition. But I imagine Cavan will be banning at least one of those heroes in the next phase. So hopefully they'll
See,
cover themselves there.
Calvin now do have the chance where they can ban and then immediately pick. So if
Yeah,
they wanted to ban out the Al or the AA and then pick up the Doom, they could,
yeah, for
or
sure.
vice versa. Um, and Void choose to ban Dawnbreaker here.
Which I mean
So
is
they
obviously a strong hero, but it's worth this Zeus pick on the side of the Void has been a super popular hero in both the I think High More Dota. I'm not sure if it's translated as much into the pro scene right now, but it definitely in High More Dota and all around all the lower levels as well. It's been a super popular hero as a support hero mainly. I don't think people are enjoying it on mid too much. But this is likely either a PK hero or I think Steven plays for the Void. Is that correct? And a pretty classic first pick. I mean, no matter what in this game, it's going to do a lot of damage. So
also worth noting as well, Tidehunter and Dawnbreaker gone banned out by the Void. These are two of Koi's most comfortable offlane heroes, I'd say.
okay,
So they're trying to feels like they're trying to push him into territory that's a bit more uncomfortable for him.
for sure. We
Now I
also
don't know if
see
that was a strategy that they've come up with, or they're two bands that just happen to line up.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I mean, I suppose I do think Koi is a pretty versatile player. Like he plays a lot of different heroes. Centaur is still in the pool. I know he loves Centaur, so maybe that's a pick for him. But you do see the Doom banned out, so Cavan decide they don't really want to pick it on their first pick here in the second phase, which I mean kind of makes sense. I think it's a good hero, but not something you're just picking second pick in the draft, right? So at least now they don't allow Void to pick it. Now, obviously, if they don't pick AA, that'll be an option on Void. Maybe the players on Void are asking Patter right now, does he play AA? And Patter has to go quiet and say, not really, but we'll see.
At the same
Um,
time, though, Patter is, quite inexperienced when it comes to playing Pos 5. So he could play AA the same way that he could play most Pos 5s, you know?
True, yeah. The expectations are low, or they're
Yeah,
equal to all his other heroes. I get
yeah.
you. Yeah. Um, okay, so they go for the axe. Axe good hero into Alchemist in general. I mean, just obviously into those melee carries with high attack speed, always really good, right? That's a good pickup on the side of the Void.
Mhm.
Ogre Magi as well has been a super stable support hero in this patch. Most people think it's maybe a top three, top four, plus five hero right now, I think. So, yeah, super stable and a good laner as well. So if they do lane this Alchemist Ogre Magi, I'm pretty sure they're guaranteed to have a good lane there.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. I'm surprised we didn't see the Al or the Ancient Apparition picked up on the side of Calvin Champions. Like it's something that we've played against where they've played it mid,
Hmm.
um, and it could be picked up in a support position. Tusk coming out from the side of the Void. This is a really strong laner. Um, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
how would
guess
you
it's
feel
got
about
to
this
be
Axe Tusk lane?
five.
Or you think it's going to be a Tusk? Because I think they can probably flex use wherever. I know it's more popular four, but we've definitely seen it both four and five in this league so far. So I suppose they could really lane either of these heroes either place, right? But do you think an Axe Tusk lane is pretty meh?
I feel like you're not going to be able to take advantage of tag team like you would with other offlaners. Axe isn't, mad at right clicking.
Hmm.
Um, However, when Axe gets his call and maybe 2 levels in spin, the Tusk does provide some of that gap close to get onto people,
Yeah.
um, which Axe can struggle at
Definitely
early on
struggle.
in the game in the laning phase. So maybe the Tusk does enable the Axe to get a few early kills that he wouldn't have otherwise. But I think the first few levels is going to be quite rough if they decide to lane the Axe and Tusk together.
For sure. Okay, so they pick up the lion. Now I think Jojo does play lion. I mean, you also have to always be scared of these holy diver mid picks, right? He's kind of the mid player that plays every support hero on mid if he wants to, and any other hero as well. So you'll never really know what he's playing until the last hero probably. But we imagine this is probably a Jojo hero, right? And then put the ogre five on broccoli.
Yeah, but like you said, I mean, all three of them heroes right now could be Holy Diver mid heroes.
Yeah, you do have to be careful. There's no doubt.
Although I would say with the Elk there, I can see them looking for someone on Holy Diver that's very mobile and gets active early. Um, something like an Ember Spirit, a Puck that's just going to roam and take all the attention away from Alk and just let him farm and farm.
For sure.
And they seem to be heroes that Holy Diver is the most comfortable playing.
Hmm. I would worth saying as well. I don't know. I'm not sure um how much of Lion Jojo Baggins has played. I mean, I imagine a lot. I imagine a lot, right? Like Lion's a pretty common hero when you're getting good at the game initially, and then just as it's a very stable support hero as you go up the ranks, etc. But it is. I feel like not a hero he's played that much in the league or in past IDLs, etc. So I wonder if just seeing all these supports banned out, like we see the Lich was banned, the Nyx was banned, the Bounty, and the Hoodwink and the Clock. So there was a pretty small support pool to pick from. So it'd be interested to see if this Lion is more of a forced pick on him or if he feels too comfortable in it in this game. Now this is a pretty so we've seen Koi on the side of Cavan Champions actually does play this Pangolier offlane, so I would be surprised if that's not what this was here. Do you agree? And then also the Snap Pick Bloodseeker, it's a bit dodgy. Like you pick this Pangolier here. I mean, it's a cool hero that maybe the Void may not have prepared for because Pangolier is not the most common offlane hero. But to get the Snap Pick Bloodseeker like super counter into the Pangolier is a pretty tough way to do it.
What? Sorry, what did you? I was trying to do research and trying to predict what's coming up here. But what
No,
are
I'm just
you
saying it
saying?
kind of
The
sucks. Like Cavan picked this Pangolier that is obviously a cool pick for Koi because he plays it and not a lot of other offlaners do. But to get the instant, to leave the Bloodseeker in the pool, which is a really popular carry hero, was maybe a mistake. And now they have this Uber counter pick into their Pangolier.
yeah, I think this is
Okay.
probably a holy diver Pangolier, if I'm being honest.
Do you think? I mean, I've seen Koi play a load of it in his pubs too, but it could be either,
Yeah,
I suppose.
I think. Well, Void seem to think that it is the offlane Pango as they ban out the Arc Warden here,
Okay, yeah.
which is a holy diver specialty. Um,
I just imagine on the side of the void, they probably were already thinking about Bloodseeker because it's really good against Alk and it's one of the best carries in the patch. And then they see this
mm,
Pango picked fourth pick and they're like, oh god, well, do we have any other option here? No, like we have to pick this. It's so good. So,
yeah,
yeah, definitely a really good pickup by the side of the void. Gonna make the early game before he gets like a Lincoln's or some other defensive item on the
I
Pango.
also feel
Pretty safe.
like you want to probably lend the Tusk and the Bloodseeker together here now.
Just because of the tag team synergy.
The tag team, the shards. I feel like it allows the Bloodseeker to get a couple of early kills and really get him into the game early on.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Zeus Axe, I feel like just lanes naturally better than Axe and Tusk would.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So Timber goes, Huskar goes, banned out by Cavan. Void now looking at making that last ban.
I wonder will they ban out
Two
another classic Holy Diver hero like the Meepo
Holy
or something.
Diver,
For
yeah.
anyone else not familiar with Holy Diver, he's another a Blinks-esque player in some ways. For anyone familiar with Blinks, and he loves those degen Arc Warden Meepo heroes, etc. So
Okay, so
okay,
Puck
they go for their namesake in the Void, which is kind of funny.
and Cavan don't even hesitate for a second. Viper comes
Take
in
this
here.
Viper. Oh, okay. It's funny that they ban Puck when they pick Void Spirit because Puck is supposedly, I mean, Void Spirit's a pretty good hero against Puck, but maybe Puck's just a better hero in the patch. But yeah, also they are gonna flex this Pango to mid and put Koi on this Viper, so that's
Hmm.
an interesting shakeup. Um, I mean, I suppose if the Viper was mid, I'm sure he would have a really, really good lane against the Void Spirit. So interesting because I think Pango against Void Spirit is a much more even lane. But maybe they're just they really want to get a jump on this Bloodseeker early and make sure he doesn't have a good lane. I wonder is that the thinking here?
I think it's gonna be an interesting one. I feel like the mid matchup probably works out in the favor of Holy Diver here, and getting strong early on as Pango is going to allow him to rotate to these lanes where if he can catch people out, like the Zeus, even the Bloodseeker, I think is going to have a bit of trouble if Pangolier starts getting on top of him before the rupture's up.
Yeah, I mean before level 5, before level 6, it's big for the Pango, but that lane is going to be pretty hard to gank at all if once Bloodseeker gets level 6 here. Interesting to see as well. Patter PK here, as you can see on the screen, is playing the Zeus, so he is the stand-in here player here. For anyone who doesn't know, he is a mid player, so he's not used to playing position 5, but we fully believe in him, in our boy, and he's playing Zeus this game, so we'll see how he does. I've not seen him play Zeus in the past, but I mean he's played it on mid, right? So
He's
maybe
played a
that's their
mid,
thought
yeah.
here that
I'm gonna
he has
flame
the
this shit
general
out of
knowledge.
PK. I'm gonna all chat PK. Just warning you now.
They also changed the positions on the Ogre Magi and the Lion, so they're putting Lion 5 and Jojo Baggins on the Ogre 4, which is fair. I've seen Jojo play Ogre more in the past, so that makes sense. Makes sense for their players.
Yeah, and even just the Ogre plus the Viper having one range, one melee
Yeah, sounds
is a
pretty
bit
good.
nicer than a double melee on top.
Yeah, and the kill threat with between the Ogre and the Viper should be pretty insane, to be honest. Okay, as we load into this game here, I will do the intro for everyone. So, for anyone who doesn't know us or anyone joining us for the first time, this is the Dota 2 Ireland group. We play these leagues regularly throughout the year. We do different LAN tournaments, and we would love you to join us if you're not part of the Discord already. So you can do !Discord in the Twitch chat to get the Discord link, and !socials to get our social media. And we'd love you to join us for future IDLs, Irish Dota leagues, or future LANs, etc. And we hope you enjoy the game you are about to watch.
Yeah, and looking pretty passive from both sides starting off here. No one wants to make that first blood play.
No, both teams happy to take their 2 bounty runes. I mean, I suppose for Alchemist, right, when you're playing and you get that extra bounty rune gold, it's pretty risky to make the play because you're like, okay, yeah, fair enough. If I get 3, it's great, but if I get 0, it's it's pretty bad, right? So it's nice to get just secure your 2, and you know what you're going to the lane with. Consistency is key, right? So I think that's a pretty wise decision. Looking at these drafts initially, who are you favoring in this game?
Um, it's a bit tough to say. I mean, Cavan, I feel like have a really good early game, and if that Alt can get online quick, it could get over pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel the constant threat of the axe, once that blink dagger comes on, he can make plays all over the map. And I think we've seen Train Man play on this axe before, and he's very good.
Okay.
So I think we could see Void taking this if Train Man really turns up here.
I like Void as well. I think the Bloodseeker pick into the Pango is big, and the Alchemist. Obviously, the only risk here, and I like the fact that Cavan drafted this Viper to try, make sure this Bloodseeker doesn't have a great lane. But I do think if the Bloodseeker gets fat and the early game goes well for the Heron, it could be a good game for the Void.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do we want to have a look at these lane matchups? So they are running Bloodseeker Tusk, as you said, against the. Oh no, is it Bloodseeker? Can we look top then?
They have 3 up top. Are they looking to make a play? They are. They're going to get the kill onto Collapse. And that is follow-up damage onto Jojo Baggins as well. The tag team doing absolute bits as Patter's peppering from the side.
And the Heron first blood for our PK on his Pos 5 debut. We love to see it.
Really nice play there from the side of Void. Did Bloodseeker get both them kills there?
No, I know Zeus definitely got the first blood, I think.
Zeus got one. Okay.
And then Bloodseeker got the second. Cool.
Lovely. So that's top lane off to a really good start from the Void.
For sure. Yeah, and Viper is not one of these heroes that really recovers into the mid game or late game. Like it. Sorry, Dan. Viper's not one of these heroes that really recovers incredibly well into the mid-late game. Like if he doesn't have a good lane, the hero can feel kind of bad. So hopefully now they can, after that first blood, they can recover a bit on the Viper and still have impact in this early game.
Yeah, I think we've seen that earlier on in the tournament as well, where the Viper got a little bit behind and really struggled to come back into the game. Like you want to be ahead as the Viper.
For sure.
So that might mean that'll need to be addressed early on from the Holy Diver, and he'll have to come up for a gank.
Now we are seeing the initial effects of the Viper onto this Bloodseeker here, and to be fair, it is going to be a really hard.
Play is made bottom, and his line is going to fall to the Battle Hunger from the axe. Seer almost saved him, but there was just too much damage coming in from that.
So they did decide now to swap they put the Tusk on 4 and the Ogre on, or not the Ogre, the Zeus on 5. Yeah, probably mainly because they want Patter on the Zeus, but it does make, if you were saying maybe that the Zeus axe lane might have been better, I don't know what you were thinking there, but it is the Zeus with the Bloodseeker on top. I suppose they probably think if they put Tusk on top as well, like 2 melees against this Viper is going to absolutely be horrible. So it makes sense what they're doing, I think. We are seeing Norbert on this. Now. Yeah, Void Spirit doing pretty well against the Pango. Only 4 last hits ahead, but still doing fine. Oh, is this Alk going to go down?
And another play is made bottom, and that's going to be Alchemist going down. Big plays happening here from the Void. They're playing very aggressive early on, and I think it's really working out in their favour. Cavan haven't really had an answer to any of the plays that have been made so far. As they pick up 4 kills and almost 1k net worth ahead. Although Cavan looking to make plays here. His Viper's getting poisoned now onto the Heron. He's getting slow, following up as much as he can, but PK's putting the spikes down, warding him off. But that does push Bloodseeker and Zeus off lane a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be like I'm sure their regen game is gonna be really tough for both Patter and the Heron here. I mean, at least as we said, they have the range damage from the Zeus, but like the Ogre Viper lane is really tough. Maybe
Ooh, and there's a return kill. Void perhaps getting a little bit too aggressive, trying to make another play there, and Trainman getting caught out from it.
For sure. I think the Alk with the another mana drain here. And we do get to this stage of the lane with the Lion once he gets a couple of mana drain levels. That is just too hard. Oh,
And that's going to be
big play
Tusk
by
falling
Seer
down
here.
as well. Right click from Lion coming in just to finish the job. And Heron going low on the other side as well with PK. I suppose if you're this Bloodseeker now, you're just looking to get into the jungle as quick as possible. Every time he walks up to lane, he's getting peppered with this poison.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm
absolutely.
sorry,
There's
but
no.
fuck early game Div 2. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no,
Hard to keep
there's
track of it.
no realistic way of them winning this top lane. So as you said, it is Bloodseeker just trying to get the minimum viable farming items he can get and then leave as soon as possible. It's cool, interesting here though how Cavan are definitely dominating the lanes, like with these 2 kills on the Alchemist now. That's pretty great, even though he died early. Yeah, feeling good. And once Lion gets a couple of levels as well, oh god, this is such a tough lane on top. But once Lion gets a couple more levels with another kill onto the Alchemist bottom and onto PK, okay. So even though we think Void have some good late game matchups, it does seem like Cavan have these lanes pretty well on lock.
Yeah, and it's started off really well for Void, and now just the solid laning from Cavan has it back in the game. Even if we look at the mid matchup again, Holy Diver has managed to come back into the lead on mid. And I think he did hit 6 before Norbert. A lot of damage going down. He doesn't have mana to do the role, but it's enough to push Norbert off lane. And Jojo is coming down to help secure these power runes as well.
Yeah, nice word from Jojo there. Maybe thinking that there's a chance to make a play on this Void Spirit at some point. But yeah, all 3 lanes on the side of Cavan doing really well. Viper actually in the last hits not doing phenomenally. Only 14 last hits and 8 denies, but he is putting a lot of damage onto this Bloodseeker. So I'm sure that will
Another
probably
play
change.
is going on bottom, and the Shards and the tag team coming out, keeping the Alk locked in place. Greyman getting low and deciding to back up as Holy Diver comes down for the gank. He's got the roll ready to go. Rolls up. Gets the first hit onto Steven. Coming back around for a second hit. Oh, nice
Big
snowball from
snowball.
Steven to dodge. But Holy Diver is there ready and finishes him off with the right clicks.
Good
Trainman
rotate by
though,
the Pango. Obviously, he would have liked the axe there, but I mean, still nice to get the return kill for his Alchemist.
yeah, I think a good job from Trainman addressing the fact that, you know, that mid gank was potential and he backed out as soon as he could
Yeah.
after they got the kill onto the axe. A little bit more health now onto Bloodseeker and Zeus top, so Koi is not going to be able to push them off as easy.
Yeah, I have to say, I think Bloodseeker's doing great here. I mean, of all the melee heroes to who got the wisdom there? Okay, they did split 1-for-1.
1-on-1, yeah. Oh, the
Of,
shards just missed Lion there,
I
and
know,
he's
so
able to
close.
walk away.
But anyway, of all the melee carries for Viper to play into, like Bloodseeker is the one that has inbuilt regen on lane. So we can actually see this playing out in the last hit totals pretty well. Like Viper, usually this melee hero killer on lane or lane winner in that respect, but he's actually 12 last hits behind the Heron. So I think the Void have to be pretty happy with this lane right now. That Bloodseeker's doing as well as he is.
Yeah, the Heron doing a really good job at just keeping that sustain going, getting all them last hits, and even though he's got very low, although a few poison coming out,
Void
as the
Spirit is up
Ignite
here.
goes down as well, and a stun comes out onto PK, the Void comes in, Bloodseeker does go down, but Void trying to look for the follow-up kill as Norbert does take down Koi.
I actually think, even though obviously it's bad for Bloodseeker to die here, but Viper is such a momentum-based hero that I think anytime you can slow down his game is going to mean a lot more against him than it does against the Bloodseeker, you know?
As we see bottom again, Holy Diver coming back looking for that kill onto Trainman. He's trying to dodge, but it's just not enough. Holy Diver has his number and straight for him gets the kill.
Yeah, maybe he didn't expect the Pango to stay around for so long there, because I think they kind of just did a mini lane swap where they put the Alcon mid and they put the Pango bottom while after his TP or whatever.
And a goal is made up top. Ignite comes down on PK, but it's enough that he can just walk away.
Yeah, nothing. Patter, God, still dying here between the Ignite and the Viper. He has so much DOT here, it's crazy. But still doing a great job keeping his carry pretty well farmed at this point of the game.
Now, Steven is around on the Tusk looking for a play here. Jojo follows him up.
Yeah, these heroes are
Steven
pretty
is-
hard to kill, I think, if you don't have either Rupture on Bloodseeker or Zeus ulti.
And Bloodseeker's still level 5. Not as close as he'd probably like to be. PK is almost level 6 here, but they're going to make a go on him up top. Damage coming in. Norbert decides to make the TP on the Void. The break comes out onto him, but the damage is there to try and get Jojo down. Jojo's still not dying. They do take Koi down, and then they do take Jojo down as well. And no more rotations coming in from Cavan. Holy Diver was coming up, but just a little bit too late with no roll.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And this top lane, which was drafted definitely to be a lane-winning combo, is not quite working out the way they wanted it to. Now, Viper's actually bottom of the last hits for the Radiant for Cavan Champions, and he's kind of missed a lot of his timing now too. I mean, he probably just gets 6, so he's gonna. I don't. Did he use 6 there or?
He did, yeah.
Okay,
he managed to get the break onto Norbert on the Void Spirit, but it didn't really do much for him. And that has
it's gonna feel like it's hard to make impact now, I think.
That has got the Zeus level 6 as well, that fight. Norbert managed to snatch a haste rune from right underneath Holy Diver's nose. Damage is coming in, but it's not enough. Steven is here though with Snowball in, and the tag team goes down. The damage is coming out onto Holy Diver with the right clicks. Jojo Baggins comes in, gets the ignite onto Steven, which stuns him for long enough, and that is cleanup from Holy Diver and Jojo Baggins.
Oh, that was just a battle of the stubbornness for the two mid laners there. Both of them knew supports were coming in, and both of them thought maybe they could kill the other one with the supports. And even with all the barriers for both those heroes, both Pango and Void Spirit generating these barriers, it's Holy Diver who wins out that matchup in the end. So, oh, maybe actually.
Yeah, I think he was just short mana. I was watching it earlier. I don't know if he had it there by the end of it, but Steven now looking to come up. Still not 6 on the Tusk. The only hero in the game right now who hasn't hit 6, so they would like to get that on Steven and get that Walrus Punch just for that bonus damage.
Now they do have this Alchemist problem on the side of the Void. Like this Alch is very farmed. Can we check the Alch's inventory there, Dan? Yeah, so he's probably he's like 3600 or 1600, sorry, off the Raddy, so probably be done around 13 minutes, 13 and a half. And yeah, that's a pretty good Radiance timing. Definitely doing really well. I mean, it's gonna be
and there's a go made up on Koi, and that's gonna be 6 for Steven out of that. Good snowball to stop the TP after I think the rupture went down on him.
Yeah. And they are ruining this Viper's game right now. Like, this is, Boy's got to feel like his hero is kind of useless, especially, so he's going straight into Hurricane Pike. Viper's not a quick farmer, really, so this is going to take quite a while. Another play going
Another go is made onto Jojo Baggins, Snowball coming in, tag team, and the Heron drops the... Big cleanup from Lion. The stun onto the finger. And Holy Diver is still coming around with the roll here. He's caught Steven out at the same time. Norbert is in and trying to go on this Lion. Good damage from Holy Diver onto PK. But now it's the battle of the mids again. Steven and PK are in a better position than the other supports. Norbert coming in, tag team coming down from Tusk, but Holy Diver is putting out damage and they go back onto Steven. Is it going to be enough? It's very close. The Hex coming in from the Lion. Norbert does manage to get... Oh, and PK is going down as well, and Collapse comes in and cleans up the kill onto the Void, which is going to help his game immensely.
Yeah, God, that just really well played by Holy Diver there, but also just the damage barrier on that Pango is insane. Like, even with the Walrus Punch, all the clicks by the Void Spirit and the Zeus abilities, he's just not able to get him down in time there and giving his team time to rotate in. So it is a big kill on the Pangolier because he's been a problem, but picking up the Zeus and the Void Spirit and the Bloodseeker before that, I think that's definitely a win for Cavan.
Yeah, I think the fight recap as well, we see about 7k of a gold swing in the side of Cavan there. Void probably realizing that they can't fight the Pango like that. They need a bit more damage to burst him down before he can get off that barrier so many times during that fight.
Yeah, just unfortunate that Bloodseeker gets blown up there. I mean, I don't think Rupture would have been up because they just used it before, but if they are going to play against this Pangolier now, they need to use this Rupture, because that is the whole... I mean, the hero's just really good, but also when you have that counter pick, you want to use it, right? So next time, I don't know if they're ganking the Bloodseeker lane, obviously Bloodseeker can use it then. Looks like they're setting up for something here on the Alchemist. Yeah. Steven trying to set something.
Steven has a smoke and Trainman's moving in. Do we have a blink on the side of Axe?
We do not.
No, but
be a tough play
Steven
to make.
might be able to get on top of him with the Walrus Punch coming in. Out pops the ulti and he's got the stun out. Trainman is going to get the call though to keep him in place. Tag team damage coming in, but there's just passive burn coming in from the acid that's down. Another
And the
snowball up
Radiance.
from
The Radiance
Steven,
doing
and
huge
then
damage
Collapse and Jojo Baggins connecting in to take Trainman down on the side. And what could have been a really nice kill on the Alk has turned into 2 deaths. And at the same time as well, we see Holy Diver took down PK, and Bloodseeker dies as well to Collapse.
Okay, so really good things going on for Cavan there. A little bit of a aggressive play maybe there by the Void. Like I know, like it would have been a great kill on the Alchemist, but when he has that ulti plus the Radiance and you know that that double stun there on the Tusk and the Axe, just putting in a lot of work. But just not enough damage on the side of Axe and Tusk to finish off the Alchemist. I think probably.
I
Needed
wonder
one
was
extra
the
hero.
Zeus, maybe the Zeus and the Bloodseeker were on their way down to help with that kill as
Oh,
well.
possible,
Got
yeah.
connected, but Collapse drops the ulti onto the Axe. And that's going to be Trainman going down as well. And Seer gets a stun out onto PK. At the same time, Norbert dashing in, gets on top of Rock Lee, but does get hexed. No stun to follow up, and he's going to be able to walk away. But this bottom tower is going to go down along with the Axe here.
Yeah, really well played by Seer, I think, right now. Like, he knows he's a super strong hero. He's really farmed, has his Radiance. And honestly, without the Rupture on Bloodseeker or Blade Mail on Axe, I mean, I think he has Blade Mail, but no Blink, right? Without the Rupture and a lot of damage from Zeus, it's actually pretty hard to kill this Alchemist right now. So he's just kind of frontlining from his team, letting his other heroes that do a lot of damage, like the Pango and the Viper, do that, and kind of daring Void to try kill him. And I don't think they can right now.
Yeah, and there's a sizable lead now from the side of Cavan, which I know has been swayed a bit by the fact that there's an Alchemist in the game, but it's still not great being this far behind on the side of the Void. So I think they need to just tone it back a little bit with some of these plays that they're trying to make. Just take the farm where they can find it, get a few items. I don't know if Axe has the Blade Mail yet. He might just... No, so we still have no Blade Mail on the Axe.
Okay, yeah,
Bloodseeker is still looking to farm up the Ratty here. It's worth just toning it back. They're playing into these fights, and I don't think they're coming out on top in as many of them as they'd like to.
No, agreed. Like, it's kind of funny, like, Bloodseeker got through this laning phase that was going to be really difficult against the Viper, and then now he's died twice since then, when it probably should have been fine. So I think definitely just go to the jungle, get your items now that you actually got through the laning phase with an okay amount of gold, and see where we can play from there. But you're right, the Tricore on the side of the Radiant on Cavan right now, with this Alchemist, Pango, and Viper, are definitely stronger than the 3 heroes on Void, so might as well get those items up and then can try again in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and Koi slowly coming back into this game now. He's got the Dragon Lance up. He's looking to finish off the Hurricane Pike.
Yeah.
I think he got 1 or 2 kills there that have really put him back into a position where he's able to be a threat throughout this game.
For sure, I think he was bottom of the cores on net worth, and now he's beating this Axe pretty comfortably. To be fair, now this Axe, the last couple of minutes of his lane was pretty rough, and I think he's died a couple of times there. So yeah, I think you're an Axe player yourself, or a big Axe player. You know well how bad it feels now when you're behind and you've kind of forced a couple of fights you shouldn't have, and now all you have is a Blade Mail, and you're waiting like a whole blink away. So he definitely needs to get these items up before he can make any more plays, I think.
Yeah. So they do smoke up though on the side of the Void. Maybe they are looking to make a play here. They've got the Zeus, they've got the Tusk, and they've got the Void. Does that leave them with enough damage to take down Koi?
Koi, I think, yeah. If he's on his own, I think for sure. But if there's a lot of rotations come in, if the Pango and the Alk, I think they're probably going to lose.
They do spot him out and they ping him, and the jump is going. The Walrus Punch tag team comes in. Norbert comes in with damage. That's a good pick.
Good pick, great pick. That's the type of momentum swinger they need right now, because they know that Pango and Alk are farming up a ton probably right now. So with that, they can take the pressure off their Axe, give him time to get a Blink Dagger up, and then they can make more plays further on. So I like that play a lot from the Void.
Yeah, it's a good, but at the same time now the Heron is showing top, and we've got an Ogre and we've got an Alk, a Lion and a Pango all moving up towards them. So perhaps Cavan are gonna say, okay, if you want to kill our Viper, we'll go kill your carry.
Yeah, potentially.
Steven does get caught out by Holy Diver here. The snowball save is gonna survive a little bit longer. Does he have blink up? He does. Okay.
Yeah, she does. Wow.
He almost blinks away, but the range is just too short and leaves him the wrong side of the trees.
That's
PK
a nice
coming in
blink
to try
dagger
and
timing
help
on this Tusk, actually.
Yeah, very good. It's positive for it's not always easy, especially when the team is this far behind. I wonder where he was finding this farm.
Yeah, maybe he got a couple of key kills. I'm not sure. Worth saying as well, I actually really like this build on the Alchemist from Seer as well. Like going the SMY first. I know lots of people have different builds they like to do on Alch. A lot of people tend to go like Ratty Blink BKB or just Ratty BKB. But getting the Ascension Yasha early against this Axe is actually going to be huge. And I know he's going BKB after this, so I think he's made the correct call. Once he get maybe play
and a
Void Spirit here.
good jump into the Void Spirit from Rock Lee. Hex coming in, stun coming in. Jojo Baggins connecting with another stun. And that's 5 Cavan members all around here.
Yeah, maybe a bit
Norbert-
overzealous by the Void Spirit there in the middle of no man's land with none of his team nearby. I know he's a mobile hero, but not against 5 other heroes in the enemy team. So unfortunate now he just gets picked off there in the enemy jungle.
Yeah, that's maybe a play that you can make once you've got like a Lincoln's or a BKB or something. But when you have the Ogre with Fire Blast, the Lion with Hex, and another play is made onto Koi here as they jump him, they get the stuns to stop him from TPing out, and Steven is left to clean it up, which is probably the right shout. As Holy Diver comes in now with the stun, manages to find PK in the back line. Steven goes down as well, but the Heron making a good call to get out before all them TPs come in.
Yeah, so they trade this Viper for 2 supports, which, I mean, is probably okay. I think it feels pretty bad to lose both supports there. And the thing is about this whole Pango Bloodseeker matchup is it's good if the Bloodseeker has Ravage for the Pango, or Rupture, sorry.
Yeah.
But once he uses it on someone else, this Pango knows he's kind of got a free team fight to roam around in, right, and use his ulti in. So, as you can see there, the minute that Holy Diver saw that Rupture went down, he felt free to use his ulti.
Is Trainman's Crow going to give away his... No, okay. He micros the Crow. It's all good. The
Nice.
Blink Dagger is coming in from the Axe, and this
That
could be
would've
could be a real game turner. If that was
the
the
Void
good
Spirit
as
down here,
Norbert
though.
is going to fall down. The Heron TPing straight in. No Rupture up though, so he can't make that kill onto the Pango, except he can. The damage is coming in from the tag team, and the shards are keeping them in place. But here comes Seer now. Big Blink call from the Axe, managing to find the Ogre, keeping him in place, but just not enough damage coming in as Seer is.
We have
doing
Rupture up
bits.
soon, I think, right?
It's up, but there's no mana on
He
the
used
Heron
to.
right now. And now Koi comes in, staffs himself in, gets the break onto Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker turning off the Ratty to try and hide himself as PK goes down, and he manages to pull away.
Somehow
No
the
TP
Heron
though,
getting
so
out of that fight. I'm not sure how the entire side of Cavan deciding the Zeus was more important than the Bloodseeker there. But yeah, a tough fight from the
just
Void.
need to be careful. Is that Dire Wards or that's his words? Okay.
Okay, yeah. I mean, really well played by Cavan. Good come in there by the Void, by the Viper too. I think Void did well to get the Pango initially, like even without Rupture, they did a ton of damage. They caught him in the silence with the Tusk, which was really well played. But just the follow-up damage from the side of Cavan is just so much with this Alchemist right now that they really don't have much to answer it on Void, especially if they don't get a Rupture on a good target early. So I think Bloodseeker's got to be pretty happy here on the Heron that he got out of that fight, to be honest, because it looked pretty dire for him at the beginning.
On top of that as well, like 2 kills were made onto the side of Cavan on the Pango and on that Ogre, and they had 4 kills on the Void, but in terms of the net worth, there was only about 400 difference in it, so not the best fight for the Void, but still not as bad as it could have been.
For sure, for sure. But you just got to think now, once Seer gets this BKB up on Alchemist, that it's going to be really, really hard to kill him. Like, no one on the side of the Void really has the damage to kill him, unless Axe gets a really, really good call with Blade Mail, right? So, or if he gets caught without Alculty up. So, I think if Seer plays these fights well in the next couple of minutes, they could end up in a lot of advantage for Cavan. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Roche happen here either. I think they probably know that they're a lot stronger here on Cavan right now.
Yeah. Tormentor been taken by both teams. We got a shard onto the Ogre, which is going to be really nice to pop on the Alk and the Pangos that are going in, and we got a shard onto the Tusk, which is going to be nice for it.
Yeah, and it does look like they are setting up for Roche here on Cavan, which I think is the right play. But with the Viper damage on the Alk, and he just got to finish his BKB, right? So they see this timing. I don't know if Axe is going to read this or is he going to get caught here.
Yeah, he blinks out. I don't think they've figured out yet, but the Roshan is... Oh, the scan does come in. The team is starting to move down, but...
Almost gone, though.
Don't think they're going to have the time. Zeus ulti coming in is going to show how low Roche is, and I think the side of the Void will just want to back out on that one. Bloodseeker taking the opportunity to farm a bit mid, and Pango's going to TP in to see if he can catch him, but Bloodseeker is already gone.
Pango is doing very well this game as well. Like 11k net worth, he has his Ags, he almost has a Blink Dagger. Just feels like they have so much more ways to do things on the side of Cavan right now. And it's worth seeing this Void Spirit's net worth has really fallen behind as well, like fourth bottom on the net worth, even though he kind of drew the lane at the beginning until Pango got a lot of kills. But now without these items, it's just tough for Void Spirit, or for Void as a team, sorry, to do damage in these fights against these tanky heroes like the Viper and the Alchemist, I think.
Yeah, I think the Void Spirit getting caught out a couple of times there has really set him back, and we can see now when the Axe is behind, the Void Spirit's behind, the Bloodseeker, he's not too far behind, but he's got the Ratty and he wants as much farm on the map as he can. And the space just isn't there for the Void to come back into the game right now.
No, for sure. Do we have BKB on this Bloodseeker, can we see?
He does, yeah.
So that's something at least. It means he can play these fights. Obviously, he would love the Ags because that's the big damage item on this hero. But you know, there's a way for him to sit in these fights and hit people. So that's good at least for the Heron.
The Void Spirit picked up a Manta early on, which I don't know if I'm too keen on. Like Lion Hex, Stun. The only thing that you're really purging with that is Ogre Ignite.
And some of Viper's stuff, right? Not the ulti, but his the first can be purged, right? A few stacks.
Yeah, so I feel like he would have been better off just going straight for a BKB or something, just to keep him able to be mobile in these fights.
I understand the reasoning, right? Because you need like a hybrid damage item at this stage. So he's like, okay, Manta is like a hybrid damage item because I'm a universal hero, but it also gives me some save. So I understand his reasoning there, because I think BKB he'd kind of be doing no damage. But I agree, like it's not a particularly effective Manta game.
Viper's making a play onto Trainman, who managed to get to TP out, but the
he does
damage
die
is just too much.
It's unfortunate.
I still think I think he's right though. He needs to be pushing out these lanes where he can. They don't want to be encroaching too much on the Bloodseeker's farm, on the Void Spirit's farm. It's not going to be easy to find a position on this map where he can take the farm.
For sure. And to be honest, he's done good. Like we saw just a couple of minutes ago that Axe was pretty far behind the Viper, and now they're basically neck and neck. And I know Viper died a few times, but even still, you know, he definitely came out of the laning stage pretty in a rough position. But I think he's come back from that a little bit. So I think the Axe, how far off is Axe from BKB? I presume that's his next item, right? Not too far, so 1,000. So honestly, if Axe gets BKB and they can make a pretty good defensive play on high ground with Call, there's definitely a way back into this for the Void. But not sure if Cavan are going to give them that time.
Well, if it's going to be any time, it's probably going to be now, as Axe is coming in and Cavan are starting to knock on the door of the tier 3s. The glyph gets popped, the wave is going to go down, and that's going to give Void another bit of a chance just to stay in this game. But Seer comes up again. The shard's just missing to keep him pinned into the tower, but a lovely spirit coming in from the Void to pull him into the shards. Not a lot of damage that can be done. Stephen blinks in and hits a Walrus Punch. PK trying to put down the Thunder where he can, and Seer takes the tier 3 and walks back, but he's coming back in for the
Alk ulti is down now, so they do have to be a bit careful. Oh, big call on 2 here.
Aegis, and Trainman manages to find a call in the back. That's going to be Lion going down. Jojo's almost dead. The break is coming out for the Viper, and the damage is down onto Trainman. He's going to fall. Jojo Baggins almost dead in the back. Not enough damage. The Heron is now in on collapse, and he's going to right click away and manages to find the kill there. And now it's Seer. He's left alone. The Walrus Punch stops the TP. Another ulti up from the Alchemist though, but the damage might be enough. He manages to get the stun, and it does. The damage is enough.
Huge fight from the Void there. Huge fight. Oh my god, so super well played. I mean, I think it was a bit brave by Seer on Cavan to stay up in that high ground with no Alk ulti anymore. Like, that was a bit brave. And then also those two supports on the Lion and the Ogre Magi playing so far up. It was a pretty it was a great axe call by Trainman. Really, really well done. And they just split that fight so well, right? Like, they caught the two supports with the axe. They went on the Alk with a couple of heroes, and I think Bloodseeker was also killing someone else somewhere. So they caught all the heroes exactly the way they needed to, and a huge high ground hold. And honestly, that's definitely going to get the Void back into this game here. Bloodseeker should have Ags, or is pretty close now. Oh, they just killed Lion again on mid.
Massive play. Oh, brilliant pick off then. Emperor and PK a bit low here. There's a regener in here, and he's going to be allowed by the mid laner to pick up, which is great.
And honestly, we have to say, like, the Zeus did a lot of damage in that last fight. Like, really, especially Alk with no ulti. Actually, you know, magic damage is a really good way to kill him. And I think with all those lightning bolts and Zeus spells, it had a lot of impact.
Axe and Pango now. Axe might spot him out. Does he have the blink up? He does, but he opts not to. He doesn't want to
Maybe
go
just
in.
not enough team in position
I
there.
feel like the team was close enough there to connect, but maybe he's afraid that there's a bit more behind the Pango. Like obviously we
Okay,
can
and
see.
he has this Ags on the Bloodseeker now, so his like main, you know, the big build, the Ags, the BKB and the Radiant is finished. So this hero has, I mean, he wants SMY right as well, but they're the minimum viable play for this Bloodseeker is here, and he's going to do a lot of damage in these fights. So I actually think just from that one high ground hold, the Void probably feel like they can play into Cavan so much easier now.
Yeah, yeah, they definitely have a footing on this game and a real, there's a vision of a way back into it for them.
For sure.
Bloodseeker, does he have a tier 3 item yet? He does. If he gets Paladin Sword, it's absolutely massive.
Yeah, I mean he does have the Vampire Fang, so that
Vampire
that
Fangs,
is pretty
yeah.
good already. But you're right, that would be a huge pickup. Can we see what
Sitting in his
this
backpack, though.
Void Spirit is building now, Dan? So I think he got a couple of kills in that. Okay, so he's going Ags. So for that silence, which I mean, it's good, right? It's good against the Lion, it's good against the Ogre, good against the Pango if Pango has no Purge, which I don't think he does right now, right?
Oh,
So that's probably
but
the main
he
idea.
needs to be careful. There's a smoke play coming into the triangle. A ward goes down to try and grant vision, and they might have just seen the creeps die, but they don't seem to know that Void Spirit is there. Lion is going to pop. Steven jumps in, kicks the Lion
huge
up
kick
onto the
back.
high ground, and they manage to just pick him off nice and handy. Really well played by the Tusk there, Steven.
Huge
And a
call.
call coming in from Treyman, finds the Alchemist, finds the Ogre. Damage is coming out. The break comes in from the Viper, stops the Axe from being able to do as much damage. But here comes the Heron now. Rupture goes down onto Alchemist. BKB is popped. Steven kicks the Alchemist back, and Heron follows him back, manages to get the kill as Norbert is going to go down to Holy Diver in the background, but no Alchemist. That might stop Cavan's push for a little bit.
Yeah, I think decided that started really good with the pick on the Lion, but I think Void maybe underestimating the Alchemist damage a little bit there. Like Void, Bloodseeker kind of just walking into a BKB Alchemist trying to man fight him doesn't really work. Alch does a lot of damage, so that was a bit of a tough play, but they did get him in the end.
Link
So.
in from Steven might have cost him his life as the break comes in onto the Heron as well. Bloodseeker taking a lot of damage here from Viper. Collapse going to right click away and then turn his attention over to Steven, who manages to picking up 2 kills there, keeping Holy Diver alive.
Yeah, and as soon as they make this huge high ground play, I have to feel like they kind of threw some of their lead away there. Like, really no need for Bloodseeker to run in there without a BKB. You know, you can't really play against Viper like that. And even the initial play, like, against the Alchemist, just seemed a bit forced. And it was a good call, for sure. But once he got BKB, I think everyone just... they didn't have a good way to fight him in ulti. I think they probably just had to leave. And then losing Bloodseeker again there is really painful. So, honestly, I think Cavan, all things considered, have to feel like they came out of that probably on top.
Yeah, and I think a major part of that was Koi playing back in a position that even when the Axe made that initial call onto the Alk and the Ogre, that the break coming in immediately to nullify so much of that damage,
Yeah,
really helped.
for sure. Like Axe melted the minute he went into those 2 heroes. So, no, what happened?
The lines on the map.
just TP'd here to here.
Oh,
Wait, what? Oh god. Minus 10 imprint rating for you, Lion. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, amazing initial high ground hold by Void, but that last fight was not maybe what was desired. Bloodseeker just maybe needs to navigate the fights a little bit better there, but looking to make a play here in
still
the
the play, and the
triangle.
Walrus kick comes back onto the line. They're going to find him. The Axe dunk gets the kill. Collapse.
Steven on this Tusk is playing so well, like really getting the picks his team needs there. And this Lion has been kind of fodder now for the last few minutes, to be honest.
Yeah, Holy Diver looking to do split pushes. The mid pushes coming in from Void. Is Roche 10 seconds on Roche? It's gonna be bottom. I feel like on the side of the Void, you want to get that picked up. If you let that go into Alk's hands again, your high ground defense becomes very difficult. They've smoked up now. They're looking to make a play onto Holy Diver here.
So we're saying as well that Holy Diver still has no purge, so if they catch him with the Void Spirit silence, it's going to be pretty big.
Steven's jumping in, the shards come out, and the Void Spirit brings him back in, and enough stuns and damage to get Holy Diver down. Now Steven's going to check Roche, let the team know that it's up. They're all around there. That would be
that's
best
a huge
chance
pick
to get in the pit.
Yeah, they know no Pango for 70 seconds. That's a ton of the team fight for the Cavan. I think this row should be definitely free for the Void now, making a really big turnaround. Fair play to them all. But yeah, I think Pango may be feeling like, I know obviously you do need to build this Lincolns against Bloodseeker. That's just how the matchup works. Otherwise, it's just impossible for you to rupture. But probably feeling like you wish he had a Manta now playing against this Silence and the Void Spirit. Um, yeah, this Roche is going to be big. I mean, Alk would love to have another Roche at this time. And I suppose, I don't know how much Void are going to push on it, but at least it gives them this time period where maybe they can catch up on some of their cores and try to, end this part of the game where Alchemist is the strongest hero and start going to the part of the game where Bloodseeker actually outcarries him. So
Yeah, and I think we've got Sanj coming out on the Crow of Bloodseeker to finish off that Sanj and Yasha, along with the Aegis, is a really strong
yeah, that's a big
part of
timing
the game for him.
Dire.
Void, Axe, they're both TPing back to try and fix this mid wave. So Bloodseeker and Zeus just need to be careful that they don't get caught out here. Now there's no one around. They don't want to give away this advantage that they have. Just fixing the lanes from the side of the Void now, holding on to that Aegis. They've got the power in hand.
Yep. And we have to say a big recovery game from Koi on this Viper as well. Like, he started out the lane, it didn't go the way they wanted it to. He got ganked a ton of times. I think he has 5 deaths now, yeah. But even still, he has this BKB, has this Hurricane Pike and the Mage Slayer. And this Viper's doing a lot in the fight, so we can see if Bloodseeker has no BKB, he can actually solo kill the Bloodseeker. So I think Koi played that really well in the last fight and generally played well.
Coming out from Cavan, they're looking to make a play onto Pika. The silence comes in and the stun goes down. Pika has the Glimmer Cape. Is there vision?
It might not be.
Look like it.
On the plays from
and then
PK.
Norbert jumps in, gets a bit of initial damage onto the Lion, but now gets Hex and gets broken, gets stunned. The snowball save coming in from Steven. Axe looking to make a play onto the Lion, and it does keep Norbert alive, but more damage coming out. And Axe is going to have to run away as well as Holy Diver comes in with the charge, with the roll.
They do get the kill on the Alchemist,
3 heroes going down. Out does fall now. Bloodseeker's looking to come in, but it might have been a bit overzealous as he's going to go down with the Aegis. PK looking to Glimmer and TP out. Stun comes down from Rock Lee though. Brilliant stun from Lion. Now the Heron just has to turn and run away as fast as he can.
Yeah, really well played by Patter there. You have to give it to him. Like the Force Staff Glimmer, they had no answer on the side of Cavan, and he lived for ages. But I just have to feel like this Bloodseeker needs to play these fights a little bit differently. Like, he kind of just goes on the Alk, and Alk pops BKB, and against the Bloodseeker damage, that really negates it for a long time. So Bloodseeker is just sitting there fighting Alk for like 10 seconds in this fight, where I think if he was assisting his team, they'd probably get 3 more kills. So I think maybe they need to kite out this Alk BKB more, get Bloodseeker involved with killing the other heroes, and then after that, they can kill the Alk off. But there's just too much time Bloodseeker spent hitting an Alchemist that's not taking damage right now in these fights.
Yeah, and buyback now from Zeus and from Axe here.
That's a tough one.
Set them back a little bit. It does ward off Cavan. And they might find the kill onto Judge Baggins as he hits the ward, shows where he is, and Axe gets the jump straight away. Steven coming in with the Heron as well for the damage follow up with Tag Team. Patter hitting the spike as well. They say, nope, you're not dewarding that today.
Lovely kill. And another Tormentor coming out for the Radiant here. Can we see what Axe was building? What are we missing out on now thanks to that buyback? Ags, okay. So he actually probably would have had it now if he hadn't had to buy back there. So that is an unfortunate eventuality, I suppose, after the last fight.
Yeah, he did manage to get the kill onto the Ogre after though, so the buyback wasn't completely in vain.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's already getting back to farming straight away, so he will have that Ags kind of soon, and that's going to be really helpful as well for taking down this Alk. Just getting more spins off wherever possible. 2 Wisdoms sitting there for the Void. Very nice to see.
Gonna get them. It looks like he will. Oh no, okay.
Norbert comes in and takes them, looking to try and get the 20 on that Void Spirit as quick as he can, I suppose. And the Tormentor going to go down from the side of the Void. PK getting very low here though, needs to be careful.
Yeah, it's worth saying as well. I think the side of the Void, even though their heroes are strong, I mean they're still 15k behind, but it seems like their heroes are strong. But they're playing a lot into the BKBs on the side of Cavan, and like even there, I think they called on the Viper, which is fine. But I mean he kind of took no damage in the call, and then could just hit Axe and whoever else afterwards. So I think they maybe just need to kite these BKBs from Cavan a little bit more, and I think their fights would go a lot easier.
Yeah, and what's our Void building at the minute? Okay, so the Void Spirit is building up BKB after he's got the Ags.
Okay.
Which is definitely going to help a lot in these fights, because once he gets stunned once, a lot of focus goes onto him and the damage is out, and he's he's dying every time. So
Yeah, I mean, we saw there, right? He went on to, I think he went on to Viper or something, and Lion just hexed and fingered him, and he was dead straight away. So I agree.
yeah.
I think that the BKB is a great pickup.
Out, by the way.
Oh yeah, he's the Lincolns now. I mean, that's really good against a Rupture, right? Like Bloodseeker has just been rupturing him in all these fights. So now if they don't get that off, it's going to be a lot tougher to kill the Alk. But once again, I think they just need to kill other people first, leaving this Alk, like just having him one-on-one against a Bloodseeker at the start of the
We
fight.
see two
Is tough.
smokes coming up, and I think a line was drawn from the void to move down. They might bump into each other here in triangle, but like two ships in the
Oh.
fog, they just pass by each other.
Now we'll
And
see though if
Void might run into Viper here.
they
PK
might, but they
taking the
also might
charge.
just come back up into their triangle. Oh,
Oh.
no, I think PK saw something.
Holy Diver decides to blink away from PK. It's kind of
Viper
not
is here.
standoff just yet. Viper getting up a bit close. They're playing the high ground well.
Great
The Axe
call.
gets the jump. The call goes on to the Pango. The damage is in to follow it up. Is it going to be enough to kill him? It is. Pango goes down immediately. Buys back now. The damage is coming on to Koi Laps. The Heron is looking to make the kill onto Koi, but Seer comes in now and Heron goes down. Norbert gets caught out in the side as well, gets stunned. And two of the cores going down from the side of the void. Train man TPing out, Steven TPing out, Patter left behind. Not able to get the Glimmer Cape TP off, so that's going to be 3 going down from the side of the void.
Yeah, huge turn by Cavan there. They did buy back on the Pango, but once again, I think Bloodseeker just playing into this BKB on Viper. Like so much of his damage is magical with this Aghanim Scepter, or is it pure damage or whichever it is. Anyway, it's counterable by the BKB, and yeah, he's just spending so much time hitting these heroes with BKB on that he's actually not doing any damage. And then once Alk pops BKB as well and starts hitting him, he kind of just dies. So they just need to maybe try to pick off these supports earlier. I think it's just not working the way they're trying to play fights right now. And these Lincoln's pickups are huge as well.
Coming in from the Bloodseeker as well. I think they've addressed the fact that, you know, this could be Megas now if they don't make some play.
For sure.
As one Rax is going to fall, Cavan are going to turn their attention now to the bottom Rax. Looking at getting rid of that tier 3 and opening up a path to victory as things are closing in from the side of the void, and it's looking a bit bleak now.
It is, and you have the issue here as well that all the cores on the side of Cavan are do so much damage.
But Steven jumps in, kicks Koi back. Damage is coming out now. The Heron manages.
Huge 3-man stun by the Alchemist.
The Lion. And
that has to be game.
That could be GG.
Wow, that was a huge stun by Seer. That triple concoction stun onto those heroes there.
Was it Seer or was it Lion?
I thought the Lion finger, but I thought it was the concoction stun from the Alchemist. I could be wrong though. Both.
Both. Okay.
But I don't think Bloodseeker got BKB off there. That's true. But huge plays. I mean, really good. I think Steven made a good play on the Viper. That's what they had to do there. But all the stuns onto the heroes in the void, and they just could not last.
I don't know. Bloodseeker is dead with the BKB up. I wonder. Surely it wasn't up in that fight, or he would have.
No, I don't think so. I think I know it could have been up, but he just got perma-stunned immediately. I think that's just how quick they played on Cavan here.
Not giving up from the side of the void yet, though. The Walrus kick comes into Koi from Steven. Bit of damage, just not enough, though. And
no,
the Ancient is slowly ticking away here. Patter walks out of base, gets immediately stunned. It's going to be GG, and Cavan are going to take game 1.
Yeah, super well played. I mean, they snowballed a mid and a bottom lane that went great into a mid game that was also super strong. I think Void kind of had damage issues, especially even though Bloodseeker came out of this Viper lane maybe better than we expected, but he also then died a couple of times and was late getting some of his item timings. And Axe was also pretty poor most of this game. Honestly, all the cores in Void were pretty poor for the poor as in money-wise, obviously not play-wise. And yeah, just they found it tough to kill the heroes. They had that huge high ground hold. Maybe there was a chance to turn it then, but I think just too many fights after that where Bloodseeker played into the BKBs and they just found it really hard to kill the cores on Cavan. I also think Cavan drafted well in that way, that they had 3 cores that all of them had a ton of kill threat and all of them were quite tanky. Like Pango was really rich and had a lot of items and was super hard to kill, and Bloodseeker could only rupture one of them. So after that, if either Alk or Viper were still alive with BKB and ulti, it was just really, really hard to kill and to not die as well. So really well played by Cavan. And yeah, we'll take a break now before game 2. We hope you all enjoyed, and yeah, we'll be back in probably 5 to 10 minutes depending on when these teams are ready. So catch you then. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Game 2 between the Void and Cavan champions in the Division 2 of the Irish Dota League Season 4. My name is Asgrav, and this is Enigma.
Hello.
And we are also joined, who I forgot to shout out in the last game, our wonderful observer, Malou.
What the fuck, Adam?
My apologies. And yeah, we are bringing you through Game 2. That was Game 1 just finished, and Cavan champions did take it. So now it'll be up to Void to try even up the series in Div 2 traditional fashion, as almost every series in Div 2 has gone to 2 games. So Cian, what do you think in this game do Void need to do to come back into it?
I think a better answer for the Alc is in order if that gets picked again. I mean, like from the band straight away, we're looking at essentially the same. I think
Yeah, I think you're right.
both teams have banned exactly the same heroes. And if the Void don't ban Alchemist here, I wouldn't be surprised if Cavan pick it again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they first phased it last. That's the same thing. I mean, they did have the Bloodseeker pick up with Void, but they did first phase Alcon in the last draft. So they had 5 picks to counter pick it, and it still won the game. And now I think there was obviously lots of other reasons that Cavan won the game too. But it is worth saying that the Alc was a tough hero to kill for sure. And they banned the Lion on the Void.
The Lion goes.
Now, we have a bit of insight on this one because Patter has been playing Abaddon 5 in every role queue game he's played in the last month. So I would imagine this is a Patter hero, played 5, and hopefully he can have a good performance on it.
Yeah, and there Cavan go with the Alc again. They obviously don't feel threatened that the Void have an answer for it.
Yeah.
Again, they pick it first phase. They give 4 picks to the side of the Void. I imagine they ban the Doom out on their ban here, so Void have to be very careful with what they do in the next few picks.
For sure. I wonder, I haven't seen too many other Cavan games, so I'm not sure if they've been doing this in other games, like first picking the Alc, but I wonder, was there any read going on that they know that PK here is stand-in and probably doesn't play AA, so they're like, okay, we know we can pick Alc and ban Doom, and we're pretty fine here. Now, I doubt it, but it's just a small thing. Maybe it could be playing into it a small bit. We do see Void banning the Pangolier here, so they know that did a ton of work by Holy Diver in the last game, who played super well, and they don't want to play it against it again, so I don't blame them.
Yeah, and a bounty ban coming out again from the Void, so obviously this bounty hero is a hero that they don't particularly enjoy playing against.
Yeah, for sure.
If I'm Cavan right now, yeah, I ban Doom, and then I'd probably be inclined to pick one of the Alchemist counters, like the Ancient Apparition. Again, you can put it on Holy Diver, or you can put it on one of your supports. The choice is yours.
Yeah.
But
He
the
does love that
Ogre is
AA
still
mid.
available if they want to pick that up second again.
For sure. I mean, that would be a good pick. I think pick up the Willow. Okay, so that
this
is
a Jojo Baggins.
yeah, that is one. Is it his most played hero? Maybe one of his most played heroes.
Am I able to see it here? It's one of his highest Dota Plus heroes.
Okay, that's something anyway.
And definitely a hero that he has given us a good
Thwacking on in the past. Yeah. Yeah, he's a fantastic Jack Willow player and another strong hero. Interesting, they did the same thing last game, right? They picked Alc Ogre and then they put Ogre on Jojo as the 4. So they kind of obviously have a pattern in which they do that. But yeah, as you said, AA is available here for Void, but I think after picking the Abaddon, and we're pretty sure, knowing Patter, that this is going to be his hero, that they probably won't pick it up here. So
yeah, tiny pickup coming in from the side of Void. I'm not sure which of who on the team plays that. I think their mid hero in Norbert has quite a vast pool, or at least he's got a lot of versatility in what he plays. So potentially a mid tiny. But if that is the case, it feels a bit early to be picking up.
yeah, for sure. I think it's also definitely possible as a pos 4 as well. I think Stephen I mean, I would imagine he plays it because he also plays the Tusk in that whole reposition game. And I think people have been saying in general it's kind of rose in popularity on mid and as other positions in the last couple of weeks. So definitely could be pos 4 or mid.
Yeah, I suppose
Interesting.
it is like the Tusk if you just have your Ags at the start of the game, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Do you think this Axe is a good pickup again? Like, I mean, still objectively, it's a good matchup into Alk. You could have gone another way, like you could have gone Timbersaw or something instead if you thought that was a better go against the Alk. Also a good hero there. But they go for the Axe again. Do you think it was a good idea, or what's your take?
I mean, if it is a tiny 4, I like the Axe tiny lane more than I like the Axe Tusk lane.
Okay.
And I feel like he knows now. You know, there was a couple of times on bottom where he probably made a little bit too aggressive of a play. He lost out on it, and that put him a bit behind on the timings for the blade mail and subsequently the blink. So I think he might know this time around his whole game has to be centered around getting the best timing on the blink and the blade mail that he can.
Yeah.
They can't be making risky plays looking for early kills. If he can address that and play to that, I think it's still, a really strong hero.
For sure. And I think as well, like the last pick Viper on Cavan really counted the axe in the last game too. Like he would just jump in and then immediately get Viper ultied, and that made the game really hard for him. But maybe in a game where they don't have the Viper, and now we see this Dawnbreaker, so it's probably Koi's hero, that it'll be a bit easier. However, we do have the Dawnbreaker save for the axe call now, so that's
Yeah.
not going to make that any easier. So
And also a Venge swap as well.
yeah,
So
two really good heroes into axe.
if he doesn't call either of these heroes, it's kind of difficult for him.
With a bristleback on the void. Okay, well we see the axe already, so this must be a pos 1 bristle we're seeing, right? So I mean it can definitely play into Alchemist. Not a hero that like particularly loves to buy a silver edge or anything. So I think bristle can definitely play into it. I don't think that that's an issue at all. I mean it's also a hero that can kill Dark Willow in her second, which is kind of cool. But still it's a hero that like kind of does a lot of damage as the fight goes on, but not too much burst. So I wonder will they find it hard to kill this Dawnbreaker, this Alchemist. But as we play this matchup, Bristleback and Axe in our own games, and I think if you can get the call into a Ags ulti from Bristle and a couple more spells and stuff, it can do a lot of damage. So maybe that's the plan here.
Yeah, I really think the Void need some burst though.
I agreed.
Lena, I think went through uncontested last game, and
Interesting, actually. Yeah.
at this point as well, still not contested thus far. The Viper banned out from the Void. They don't want to have to play that, especially when you're picking Bristleback as well as having the Axe there already and the Abaddon. Definitely needs to get rid of that Viper. Cavan opting to ban out the Quap, so both. And there goes Selena, which I think would have been probably the best thing for the Void, with just, straight burst damage is what they need now, because a lot of sustain on the Alchemist ulti with the Dawnbreaker ulti on top of that.
Yeah, they have a lot of heal and a lot of ways to protect on Cavan, so it's going to be tough. Worth saying as well, Bristle into Venge is not the best matchup either. Like, it does give it a lot of options for Cavan to reposition the Bristleback, so that's maybe a one question with the pick, but also with the Abaddon, I suppose it's a good hero with the Bristle as well, like make him even harder to kill than he already is. So yeah, just an interesting thing to point out. I do like the Viper ban though. Like they can't let the Viper through again. Even if they see Koi's hero, they don't want to play it at Bristleback and they don't want to play it to Axe again. I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe OD is needed here. A lot of just burst damage, and it does make the lane a little bit easier as well, I think.
For sure. It's a good lane winner, can kill Dawnbreaker and Alk. I like it. Are there any other more popular meta heroes I wonder that you think would be good? I mean, Quap would have been a good one as well, probably. Sniper. Okay, well, they have very little magic damage. Now, there's also the potential here. We did talk about Tiny as a mid earlier, that the Sniper could be a 4 and they could put the Tiny mid, but I think it's probably Sniper mid, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, just from seeing the way that Steven played Tusk that last time, it feels like Tiny would be more his hero than the Sniper would. But, anything is possible here.
Yeah, for sure. It is, yeah, so it is very physical damage. It's not what we thought we wanted at all. Like Sniper into Alchemist, once again, Sniper he does a lot of damage, but like he has to keep hitting them. It's like not in one single burst. Besides, unless you go that Kanda build, but not really what snipers are building right now, I think. But yeah, so maybe not exactly what we thought they needed on the side of the void to kill this Alk, but it is a long range hero at least that like if Bristle and Axe are brawling in the fights that they can try kill it. Timbersaw picked up really good pick here. I mean, if it's a sniper mid, and it is, Timber might struggle against a sniper early until he gets a couple of levels of his third. But honestly, like the matchup is so good into Axe and to Bristle, and Sniper will really struggle to kill him in the late game once he gets like an Ags and something. So I actually like this pick a lot from Cavan.
Just on the lineups, then looking at them right now, what is your favorite lineup?
I mean, I look at Cavan and I see 3 cores that are all really tanky and are going to be super hard to kill for the void. So I favor Cavan a good bit here. I think like I just don't know how you're going to kill Timbersaw or Alk in this early game or mid game. To be honest, like Abaddon does very little damage really, and Tiny, if he doesn't get farm, also does very little damage. But still, compared to what you need to kill an Alk and a Timbersaw, and we know Holy Diver is a fantastic player and is going to probably lane pretty well, even if it's a rough matchup for the first couple of levels, which it might be, I'm not sure. But yeah, I actually favor Cavan a lot here, and I think the Dawn ulti is going to make these heroes even harder to kill than they were already. And they've got loads of catch and reposition with the Venge and the Dark Willow, so I really like that.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you there. I mean, there definitely is a world in where the Void win this, but they need to be playing the EA game.
Yeah. It's really hard to see where they find the damage for these heroes. Like I think if Timbersaw buys Ags this game, it's going to be so hard for the Void to kill him at any point, to be honest. Just with the heroes they have. So I'll do our mandatory readout, and just to say that this is the Dota 2 Ireland group who are hosting this Irish Dota League Season 4. For anyone who's not familiar with us, we are a Dota community based in Ireland, and we are always looking for new members, so if you would like to join, you can just do !Discord in the Twitch chat, or !socials to see our social media, and we welcome you to join up, and hopefully you can get involved in our future LANs coming this year, and any future Irish Dota Leagues. So this is Season 4, and obviously Season 5 will probably come later this year. So yeah, we hope you enjoy the rest of this game, and let's see what happens. Seems pretty calm again from the two sides starting off here, Cian.
Yeah, neither side wanted to make too ballsy of a play. I'm surprised as well. I feel like Cavan with the Alk would be trying to make some pressure to potentially secure a third rune, but I guess they don't want to give away that first blood early on.
Yeah, and maybe the risk is too high that if they lose a rune, at least if they can count on the 2 runes, it gives Alk pretty good consistency going to lane, what he can have and stuff, so.
Yeah. Although a little bit of movement here coming from Axe, he's pushing up a little bit. I think he's going to see the numbers there and decide not to go for it. Oh, he does go for it though. As does Koi.
Okay, they do still split 2 and 2, but
Koi taking a good chunk of damage there to start off the lane.
For sure. And now you're a big Koi watcher, being the offlane player, so you know he plays a lot of Dawnbreaker too, right?
I don't watch him, but
Okay.
I've heard that he plays Dawnbreaker. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and also
I think he's played it against us before as well. To be fair.
Yeah.
So, that's probably getting that too. But I think
he inspired me to start playing Dawnbreaker.
Yeah. Now we'll be watching pattern in this game. Abaddon has been his most played POS 5 hero recently, which I mean isn't hard. He plays mid, but still, he does have more experience on it than the Zeus. Even though honestly, I think he played pretty good last game. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what impact he can have. Abaddon, obviously, a really high demand hero in all skill brackets right now, doing a ton of heal and just makes the game really hard, especially if you get an Ags or anything like that. So hopefully they can use that to their advantage on the Void.
Yeah, not too much happening now from the lanes here. I think the mid matchup is going to be interesting to see how the Sniper takes on Holy Diver this game.
For sure. I
Should
know
just
a
be
lot
able
of
to right click from a distance, right?
For sure, I think Timber. People are saying on Timber that you don't really level this third skill that much right now in the early game. I wonder if against a matchup like Sniper, when it's just kind of like you're literally just going to take right clicks for the first like 10 minutes, maybe he takes a level or two in it. I'm not sure. I don't know what Timbers are really going right now, but yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
They've been made onto Koi is he's taking a good bit of damage. Mist Coil coming out just to drop him a bit low, and the quills are still on him as well. He needs to be careful coming up too close.
Is that a level 2 snot on Bristleback? That's interesting. I wonder because I think a lot of people go Bristleback level 2 and then you go Goo at level 4. But interesting. I wonder if with the Abaddon he thought maybe okay I have enough tank with the Abaddon. I don't need to level my passive, so I can go Goo instead, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it makes sense to give yourself that armor reduction, especially if they're going to be playing aggro looking for kills. Is up top a double stun coming out from Seer, and Stephen
Maybe
throwing
throwing his
Greyman
teammate back in.
to his death. The Heron manages to find a kill in return, but then Jojo is going to find the kill onto PK, and the Heron is standing and battling with Jojo, and the quill damage is going to be enough, and the right clicks on top of it.
Okay, I mean that's a huge double kill for Bristleback. Like that's he definitely is looking for that in his lane. And to be honest, with an Abaddon, you're probably not thinking that that's too much of a kill threat. Like Abaddon's not really a kill setup hero, but feels pretty good. Even though they trade the Abaddon, but they get 2 kills there, and both offlaners going down, right? The Axe and the Dawnbreaker, so pretty even there. We can see Timber is actually top of the last hits right now, even playing against this Sniper. So maybe, and he has not leveled reactive armor. So obviously, the minds of the intelligent Timbersaw players like Holy Diver know that you obviously just don't need this reactive armor spell right now. So,
ooh, and a go is made onto the Heron. Koi missing the Starbreaker, the stun. So the Heron able to walk away just enough HP, and Holy Diver is going to fall down onto Norbert, who's I feel like very out of position when he's up there. Maybe a
wow,
timber
yeah, I
chain
mean,
was
he
used
must have
to.
Timber chain to get over. Yeah, maybe he went for an aggressive play. I'm not sure, but that's a big kill by the Sniper to get that Timbersaw so early.
Oh, we can see the hero level as well. Just going to put the sniper up as a goal is made on here now, and Alka is going to fall. Seer is going to fall, and a goal is made on bottom as well. The Heron getting the quills out, and Koi is going to
I'll
fall.
say it again. Fuck Div 2 early game.
Very difficult to keep track of everything that's going on.
Huge play from the Axe and the Tiny to kill the Alk there. That is a pretty classic lane combo, like the throwback into the calls, so we love to see that. It's always fun to watch. But yeah, really, really well played by Stephen and Train Man there to get the Alk kill. And once again, really impactful against the Alchemist until he gets level 6. He is a pretty easy enough hero to kill, you know, so if you have the damage, it's good to use it there.
Yeah,
I would question the strategy of sorry to interrupt you, but just of the offlane here on Cavan, because like you're playing into a bristleback Abaddon lane. Like I'm not sure how aggro they want to be on Dawn Dark Willow, you know. But like it seemed like they were kind of playing into the bristleback there. But with so much heal from the Abba, it might be kind of hard, you know.
yeah, and it looks like a play was made again, and it ended up with a lot of damage going out onto Koi and onto Jojo.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think that the aggression that you're usually able to have as a Dawn player, it doesn't exist in the same way on this lane. The Bristleback is able to put out as much damage onto you as you are him.
Mm-hmm.
And the trades that should be favorable aren't turning out to be favorable.
Completely, yeah. I think just the Abaddon heal plus the tank on the bristle is just so strong, you know.
We can see as well, Norbert has managed to beat Holy Diver to level 6, and he's popping away with these shots. Doesn't have enough to make the assassinate to finish him off, but really good damage coming out. And maybe Holy Diver now regretting the decision not to take reactive armor as Seer makes it go on to Tiny here. The stun coming in, a lot of damage as the acid's down as well.
Yeah, really nice
Trayman
2-man
just
stun
hits
there.
4. He has the call up now. Will he make it? Stun magic missile coming out from Rock Lee, but he's very low, and the blood grenade coming in from Steven. And that's going to be enough damage to take down Brock Lee as Seer gets a stun to just walk away.
Still a nice kill on the bench
Same
there.
time,
And
there
Holy
we
Diver
go.
going down again.
Norbert finds the mana and gets the assassinate kill onto Holy Diver.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like that one kill on the Timbersaw
Oh,
just
they're
gave
making it go
Sniper
top?
the edge.
Avalanche coming in. Did the axe miss the call? Did it go on cooldown?
It must have, yeah.
It must have missed.
But yeah, that one kill on the Holy Diver Timbersaw just maybe destabilizing this lane, and now he's obviously struggling a lot when the Sniper has 6, so Really well played by Norbert to get that there.
Another aggressive play coming in from Koi and Jojo down bottom, and Collapse getting caught out a little bit with pathing there, I think. Stephen makes the TP down, looking to probably toss him back, and it is going to toss back right into the Heron's path. Quillops gets the Starbreaker, but the Heron manages to dodge it, and the Quills are coming out and stacking up.
Four
there.
goo. Yeah, once you get 4 goo on you, you're pretty done there. So,
Holy Diver super low on mid again. It looks like every time he's walking up to lane, Sniper just has the damage. He is going to find 6 in these jungle, and at the same time, Axe is being told, no, you can't be cutting waves this early. Not against this team.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when his support is not there, right? The tiny TP bottom to try help with this Dawnbreaker kill, and then Axe playing solo against this Vanjalk is not going to be able to live. So,
yeah.
But yeah, this
damage. Heron starting to play very aggressive here. He knows that Quill damage is enough to take down Koi every time.
For sure.
And he's playing into it well, especially Steven is still around on Tiny. PK is there with Abaddon. Koi pinging out that he wants to go on this Tiny. He could be going too far though.
Yeah, and I mean, this Bristleback's 4-0 right now, going towards a really good Ags timing. He's going to be feeling great about his lane. But they have to feel like in Cavan that the sniper lane was going fine, and then suddenly is not now. And Holy Diver is not really in the position he would want to be coming out of this laning phase, you know?
I think there's a play to be made. Rockley is on the side here. Holy Diver's coming back on full HP. Shrapnel's going down on Holy Diver, and a lot of damage coming out straight away. Rockley, he doesn't want to move up just yet. Jojo Baggins coming in. They're helping secure these level 8 runes, and an Arcane rune would be a nice one now to pick up on your Timber Saw. As another go is made onto Collapse. Toss coming in, tosses the Bristleback over onto the Dawnbreaker. Quill's coming out. Manages to get the Starbreaker off, but it's not going to be enough as the Quills come in. Holy Diver now coming in looking for a bit of damage.
Chakram from Holy Diver.
Jumps straight onto the Heron in the back. The Saw is coming out. The Timber Chain is coming out. The damage is being done. Nice miscoil from PK there. Keeps the Heron up a little bit more. And Holy Diver is starting to get a couple of stacks of Quills on him. And the Shrapnel comes in now as well. Does find the kill onto Bristleback, but goes down from the Sniper at the same time. And the Sniper turns his attention to Dark Willow, who's going to turn and walk away out of that one.
Yeah, firstly, I want to say great throw by Steven there. I think he's playing really well around the map on this Tiny, like, you know, throwing the axe around with the calls and throwing the Bristleback around there. There's actually a ton of synergy there, which is kind of cool, which maybe we didn't identify with the draft. But really well played by Holy Diver there coming down, and we see why this Timber Saw was such a good pick here into this Bristleback, into the Abaddon. And I feel he almost had the Bristleback earlier, and then he realized, okay, this Abaddon's healing way too much, and he's like, okay, we got to kill this hero now instead, and pops the Abaddon instead. So I think that was the right decision. He does go down, but killing this 4-0 Bristleback was a pretty big deal, I think.
Yeah, and I think even losing out to the Sniper there on the Timber as the Heron making another play onto Dawnbreaker, and Dawnbreaker really getting pushed off lane here with the Bristleback. But no, I think even dying out there with Timber finding 2 kills, it's kind of put him a little bit further back into the game than he was originally.
Agreed. And he's still super dangerous. Like, he has such a good matchup into these cores on the side of the Void that he's always going to be dangerous in this game, even if his net worth is lower. And I think it'll be fine. I mean, it's Holy Diver. He's a great player, and he farms quick on Timber Saw too. So maybe the 2 kills were unfortunate, but I think he's going to do fine now. So
yeah, he's still deciding not to take the reactive armor though, which I think is quite interesting. And a Bedlam damage coming out onto PK.
And they're still level 5, so.
Who's
huge
go down, but now the Heron is coming in looking for the follow up. The Quills are going to find Jojo. Steven comes in, the Avalanche onto Koi, keeping him in place. But
Timber Saw is making his way down. And we do have to say this Bristleback is really dangerous, but he's felt extra dangerous because he's had this shield from Abaddon.
Magic Missile goes on to Steven. The Saw's coming out as well. He's tossed back onto Venge, and Sniper's coming in now. The damage is going down. The Timber Chain comes out.
He's no mana on Timber Saw.
Oh, but he turns his attention to Sniper now, who gets the shield from Abaddon, and at the same time as well, the Heron. Wait, the Heron. Okay, the Heron goes very deep for Koi, and he is punished for it.
Classic Bristleback plays.
Dark Willow comes in with the Bedlam.
Really well played by both Steven and Norbert there in the Sniper. Like the throw during the chain really nullifying some of that Timber Saw damage, and then Sniper coming in. And as you said, with no reactive armor, he is really taking so much damage from this physical damage in the Sniper. And Timber actually isn't that hard to kill. So they take another life off Holy Diver, who has to feel now like he's died a few too many times, I think.
Ooh, but here's a go on to Trainman now. The Magic Missile comes in, lets the Alchemist line up the stun very nicely, and they're chasing him down. The damage isn't quite there though, as Timber's coming in for a bit of follow-up. Now the Heron comes in, but this might not be the fight that he
Should be
wants
careful
to take.
here. His Abaddon is
Freedom
coming
on
though, so
top
he
of
should be
him, and the
okay, I think.
Alchemist has the ultimate popped. Shield comes off on the Abaddon and the Mistcoil as well, keeping him nice and healthy. And now he's turning to make a bit of a go. The Quills are already down, and he's starting to stack up more and more damages. Alchemist ulti is almost over. The Heron getting really aggressive here. He's got the Abaddon with him, and the toss comes in as well from Steven. Throws PK in, but there's the Dawnbreaker. Solar Guardian comes in, and the heals is massive. Manages to keep Holy Diver and Seer alive. Swap back from PK, puts him under tower and in range of death, and he is going to go down. And a massive turn from the side of Cavan champions.
Yeah, maybe Void overestimating just how tanky their Bristleback was there, and also the Dawn ulti. I think that might be the first usage of the game, and not really playing into that yet. I've said really well played by Holy Diver there. Like, he was really low at the beginning of that fight, but he stayed around, made sure he was there, and then came back in with the damage they needed, to be honest, to kill Bristleback. So yeah, really well played by them, and just maybe the Void overplaying their hand a little bit there. Bristleback just have to be careful now. Like, this is the time of the game you want to get your Aghanims at a good time, and he was having a great lane, but he's just died twice, maybe 3 times in a row. So you want to make sure this Aghanims timing still comes on okay. He's only 2 items off, so it's fine. But just another death now. I think he's probably going to head to the jungle, get this item, and then he can resume his fighting after that.
Yeah, I do hope that someone has made a couple of stacks um, for him to farm up just them last few components. I don't think there's anything in the ancients either.
Worth pointing out that both Sniper and the Axe on so Norbert and Trainman on the Axe are having a much better game from the lanes than they did last time. So Axe came out pretty poor from the last lane, and also the Void Spirit. But both these heroes have lots of money and are doing better this game. So I think it's going to be a lot easier for Void to make these plays in the mid game now.
Axe this time opting as well to go straight for the blink. He picked up the chainmail, and now he's decided that the blink is the next item.
What do you think about this?
I don't know if it's the right play. I don't know if they want to get the blink and get that active that quick.
I mean, maybe the call was, okay, our
playing
Bristle is doing amazing, and we want to like push this game straight away, but with the Abaddon Bristle combo. But
I'm just thinking with the Dawnbreaker ulti and with the swap, like the blink calls, they're gonna be good, but I feel like you'd be safer now just taking up your blade mail and then farming up your blink fairly quick after.
I agree.
I could be wrong though.
Especially when you also have a hero on the Sniper who's also looking to farm this game, So
Yeah.
no, I see.
Yeah, I'd be afraid that he's rushing the blink, and then there's not going to be the team to play with him that he wants to play with him for rushing the blink. But they are going to make a play out onto Jojo Baggins here. The toss comes in, and he gets the call, and the Shadow Realm isn't going to be enough then. That's Jojo
Another
Baggins
great toss
call.
from Steven. I think he's playing super well in this tiny. Like, really has fabricated many of the plays around the map so far for the Void, and having a ton of impact.
Yeah, and now top tower going to fall along with mid, and Void doing a lot more tower damage this game than they were the last time. As TP's come in now for mid, Shrapnel comes out onto Holy Diver, and Steven's walking up. He's looking for that toss back. Is he going to find that there's creeps there to target? But the Dawnbreaker ult comes in, and the magic missile is stopping them.
We got the call on Axe though on the
come
toss.
in, and the Timber is going down, but a lot of damage coming onto Axe now, who manages to stay alive thanks to a miscoil from PK. But it's not going to be enough as Seer comes in, and they're looking to clean up Koi as well. Diving Norbert under tower, looking to get on top of him. Avalanche coming in though is going to stop Collapse from getting away. And Seer is just going to have to turn and run. Jojo Baggins along with them as the Heron comes in now as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, a very long TP from Bristleback there. I think that must have been a 4 or 5 seconder for sure. I mean, he must have his Ags on the way actually. But yeah, I mean, a good turn. I think they still played really well in the Void there, even though they lost or they lose. They lost.
And it might not be over. Holy Diver TP's in mid and gets immediately gone on as well. Shots coming out from the Sniper. Does he have the Assassinate? He does. And it's going to be enough. And that's a huge death from Holy Diver.
Yeah,
maybe a little overzealous TP in mid. Well, there were still 4 of them around.
Yeah, I think Void are playing great right now with this lineup. I mean, the Abaddon's also putting in huge work. Like PK, like the amount of shields, he saved the Axe longer earlier in the fight. I think he saved Sniper before, and obviously the reason this Bristleback did so well early from all the Abaddon heals and the shield as well.
We get it. You're friends.
No, you got to give credit where credit is due.
And we
Just
will
kidding.
say as well, Patter has no Wi-Fi set up at the minute and is playing on 4G broadband, so or 4G
Yeah.
data.
Oh,
And
great ward. If they
they're
catch
gonna
this,
find Seer, and the axe jumps in with the blink. The call comes out. The damage is coming out from Sniper now, who's shooting away. Seer gets the ulti off, but it's not enough.
huge
And
kill.
maybe that blink was the call from the axe as they find Seer farming away in the jungle here.
Sure about that
Oh,
great
the
ward?
double ops ward. Oh
Are you sure
no.
about that
Sorry.
great
Oh
ward?
no.
I think he
You
tried
gotta
to.
be sure.
He tried
Just as we
to.
compliment.
Yeah, he tried to swap.
him. Okay, well now Pato, that's a -10 imprint rating for you too. Jesus,
Oh.
we can't be having that one. But yeah, no, super well played by the Void. I have to say, I just think they're choreographing their plays really well this game so far. Mainly off this Tiny, I think it's doing a ton of work. But also the fact that this Sniper ended up with such a good lane after those kills in the Timber Saw, he's just putting in work now, and he's doing a lot more damage.
Now,
Than
a lot of teleports coming down onto the Heron down bottom. Collapse gets okay. Yeah, he's just gonna fall there.
Maybe playing up a bit too
No.
much without his Abaddon behind him. I know, I don't a very easy place for the enemy team to TP into, and without the Abaddon, he's just not as quite as tanky as maybe he thought he was. So,
Yeah. Does he have his Ags up yet?
I think he does. Yeah.
He does have Ags. Okay. He's
Okay,
up
so
for SMY next as well, and Cavan are looking to make a play off that momentum of killing the Bristleback. The smoke comes out, and the Sniper is there. Do they have the catch for him though? Jojo looking to get the Bramble Maze down, and he does find the route. Shrapnel does a lot of damage to the team as they're passing through a choke point though. Another Shrapnel coming out and an Assassinate onto the Timber, who's going to fall. Jojo Baggins has to pop the Terrorize to try and get them out. The tree grab comes in, slowing him down. Steven chasing Jojo now, gets the Avalanche. He's just going to do enough damage straight off the bat. And Cavan, with the player up, don't manage to find the gank that they were hoping to find.
Yeah, I think in a lot of these fights now, we're feeling the effects of the fact that the Timbersaw did not have a great lane, and he's just too easy to kill. Like, he kind of just took a couple of shrapnels from Sniper there and an Assassinate, and he's kind of just dead. And yeah, that's not the place you want to be with Timbersaw, and we said earlier in the draft that that this hero is really good against some of the heroes on the Void, but that he needs to be tanky and kind of unkillable. And just after the lane, he's not feeling like that right now. I think the Void are also, or Cavan, sorry, are also finding it hard to initiate. I don't know if Venge was looking for a swap there, but they just couldn't really get on top of anyone with the
Yeah,
Alk.
the Venge seemed to be in the wrong position of that gank now because it ended up with Dark Willow making contact with the Sniper first.
Yeah.
And now they're looking to make another go as the ward catches out Timber as well. Axe finds the jump onto him. The call comes in. The Timber chain goes, but it's not going to put enough distance between him and the team. And Steven seems to know that Koya is around here too. The smoke hasn't popped as well, so Koya is hiding into the trees. Oh, he got his crow. The Heron got Koya's crow. And now they found him. Starbreaker comes down. It's going to stun the Bristleback, but the axe jumps in after. Shrapnel's coming in. The damage is coming onto Koya. He pops the blade mail to try and dissuade them from right-clicking him, but it's not going to be enough, and he's going to fall too. And
Yeah,
this
they're
ward
kind of leading kills on Cavan here right now.
even though they've put down 2 wards here, it's been worth it.
Yeah, these 2 wards are paying off. Did you notice the creeps?
No.
Whoever was in the camp hit the creeps, and the creeps 2 cubes targeted Koi. They didn't see him.
Oh,
They gave him away.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
That
But yeah, this Sniper is actually higher net worth than the Alchemist on the Dire right now, which is like not something you want to see at any point of the game.
Crazy. And he's going to MKB now as well to try and stop the Radiance burn from
Al.
the mischance.
Yeah. And I also really like the build. Like,
Jojo is going to run into Steven here, who's going to pop an avalanche. Does he have anything to toss him back to?
He does not.
Really, but Axe is going to find a blink call, and that's going to be Jojo going down now as well.
Lovely play, especially with the creeps coming in there to get the damage on Train Man. Really well played. But I'm just going to say, I love the Sniper build, like going Pike and the Shard straight away. Like, he has so much escape against the side of Cavan, who are kind of lacking it unless he gets swapped by Venge. So, yeah, really, really cool build, and has been working on the Sniper.
Another toss back coming in onto Holy Diver, throwing him right back into the Heron. Tree Thrust coming in, and Assassinate coming in too, and the damage is there. And I have to say, from the lineup of Void, I really didn't think they were going to have enough damage to be dealing with the Alchemist and with the Timber.
Yeah, I think it's just coming out of these lanes. They just went so well. You know what I mean? Like the Sniper and the Bristleback lane really, really went so well, and now they have this damage just roam around the map.
Yeah. And I suppose the Dawnbreaker ultimate as well, like if you pop it for the Timber there, as he's trying to get out, he Timber chains and then he's immediately out of it. So it's probably not worth even trying to save him there with the ultimate.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, Steven may
Steven
catch
is
him
looking
again
for
here.
another play. Picks
Oh,
up a
here comes Timber.
tree.
I think he might die
Koi
here.
decides that he's going to make the go here. The hammer throw comes in. Starbreaker goes down. The damage is there as Holy Diver picks up the kill. Oh no, Koi picks up the kill, sorry.
But this is a really tough game for Holy Diver now. Like, he's only 1600 gold ahead of the Pos 4 Tiny on the side of the Void, and not usually where we see Holy Diver in these games. He's a really skilled player. But yeah, this Timber Soul game is not going well. He's been hunted around the map, finding it really hard to get the farm he needs. What item is he queuing up, Dan?
He wants Ags next, I think.
Yeah, it is definitely a great Ags game. Oh, just missing out there. No, on
Timber.
Timber. Yeah, so that makes sense. As we said earlier, it's so much physical damage on the side of the Void. And to be honest, if he gets the Ags, it will be really hard to kill him. But right now, he's just such a target for these rotations.
And now they're looking to make a play on Seer. Avalanche comes in, Toss comes back onto the axe, he calls him. But now here comes the Dawnbreaker ultimate. It's going to keep him alive long enough, and now Steven is a little bit out of position as 4 members of Cavan all wrap onto him and find the kill.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit overzealous there on the Void. I mean, I don't think the sniper was in position, and that's the fight that Cavan want this game, is that they want to, basically, they want the Alk to be called, and they want to get a Dawnbreaker ulti onto him in the middle, and then let him just hit everyone after that, right? So,
Yeah.
even though we've seen lots of really good fights for the Void, the Alk really hasn't gotten to participate that much yet. So maybe once he starts fighting, things will start to turn around for Cavan again. We'll have to see.
Yeah, and that fight did put him back on top of the net worth as well. He's got his Ratty, he's got SMY. I think he's going BKB next. Can we just check that on Alchemist?
Oh, as just speak of the devil, and he got hunted. I have to say, the map play by the Void has just been next level in this game. Like, so much better than last game. They're really outplaying Cavan on the map. I'm not sure who's their shot caller in the game, but I think Tiny's done a ton to set up these plays with the axe throws, and also just train man in general. Like, having this better laning stage, getting his items at better timings, has had so much better impact in this mid game. Really doing so much for the Void. So fair play.
Yeah. And now pressure is coming onto this mid tier 2, which looks like the next target for Void. Steven might be able to find Jojo here. He blinks in, the avalanche goes down, the Eels comes out, so the toss is ready after the... Oh, the toss comes in on the Heron. Heron is thrown in, and Assassinate comes down from Sniper. Jojo again falling to the Tiny. Holy Diver and Rockley looking to make a counterplay on bottom, put a bit of pressure on this tower, but the Void don't seem to care. They're looking to walk straight up here onto the tier 3s.
Yeah, this is such a strong timing from the Void, like this Bristle with the Abaddon behind him. And can we see the Bristle items? Yeah, so Ags SMY, like, he probably feels super unkillable right now. And also, especially when the Timber is not in a good position, like, I think it's a little bit risky maybe not going BKB before SNY on the Bristle, when if Timber was having a good game and he could just burst you. But now that he's not having a good game, I think this is kind of working out pretty well for the Bristle. Worth saying as well, and I mean, we just mentioned it a minute ago, but we haven't really seen the impact from this Venge in the game yet. And I think that's maybe something that Cavan have been missing. So hopefully in one of the next fights, we can get a good swap in for a kill on Cavan, or a swap out if someone gets targeted by the axe call, etc.
Yeah, is there 4 staff on the Venge or anything like that? Yeah, they do have
so,
4 staff
yeah.
on the Venge. Okay, so I feel like the swap has to be on the Sniper to just get him back into the fights in a position that he doesn't want to be in. And
yeah.
Although the Hurricane Pike is there to counter, and the Shard
And
as
the
well,
Shard,
the
yeah.
concussive grenade.
So he has itemized really well for playing against his Venge, and generally the Cavan team, I have to say. Right, he almost has Ags and Holy Diver on the Timber Cell, so that will be a big power swing for him, for sure.
Yeah, one more component, and the Timber becomes a bit of a problem in these fights now.
Yeah.
Able to soak up a bit more damage than he was previously. Looking to make a play on Roshan up here is decided to Void. Burst back in there alone at the minute.
I'm still impressed the core player found the ward button.
Can we look at Alk's items again, Dan? I just want to see. So it doesn't look like he's thinking about going Blink this game, which, I mean, I like the Silver Edge play against Bristle because I think you have to, but it is just against a sniper, you do like to go blink, just have a way to get on top of him. So that is something maybe to worry that if they don't get the Venge swap on Cavan, they're going to find pretty hard to get on this sniper. But maybe that's Timbersaul's plan, I'm not sure, but just something to point out. I think Silver Edge is a good pickup too, obviously, because you need it against the Bristleback, but yeah, not having the blink might hurt the Alk in the mid game, trying to get onto this sniper, we'll see, or in the late game. He got it? Okay, that's huge. I'm sure Holy Diver, after dying all those times, has just told his team for the last 5 minutes, like, okay, I am literally not going near you guys. I just need this item, and then maybe I can play again. So, yeah, I like that choice. I think now he's a much stronger hero because basically all the damage on Radiant is physical, and we can see what happens now. So,
What is? Oh, okay.
oh, I'll just get ulti off, but this Bristleback is chasing him down.
Wait, here's the Dawnbreaker ulti coming in. Alk pops the BKB and Koi comes in. Big Starbreaker. Lots of damage out. Steven's going to fall on the time, and they're looking for next. And they're getting on top of this sniper now. Norbert has popped
Huge
a
call.
grenade. And it's massive. And the damage comes out, and Koi goes down. Seer goes down. Holy Diver is still in. He pops the Ags. He's looking to try and get on top of the sniper, but the Aegis is still up. He gets disarmed. He's still putting out damage. He does manage to kill the sniper the first time around, but now he's going to have to turn and run. Axe gets a blink call though, holding him in place. The Heron is doing damage. Axe is going to fall, but alongside him, Holy Diver is going down as well. And Sniper, although the Aegis goes down, he doesn't die fully.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing there that Timbersaw being a lot tankier than he was before, like a lot harder to kill. And to be honest, it's kind of sucks that Axe dies there. But that was a humongous call by the Axe, like absolutely changed the team fight. I think Cavan were definitely on the way to winning that before he got that call off, and then getting the 2 kills on the Alk and the was it the Willow maybe? I'm not sure.
The Alk and the Unbreaker, I believe.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Just a huge play by Train Man, fair play. Really well done. And able to turn that fight for the Radiant.
Yeah,
I still do. Oh, go on.
No, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I still do think that's how Cavan want to play their fights. Like, they want Alk to be initiated on and then throw the Dawnbreaker ult and then do play the game after that. That's kind of how they want their lineup to work. But the Axe call kind of just disrupted that there.
Yeah, and that's the kind of plays Trainman was wanting to make last game, but the Viper was shutting down with the break. So with no break on the side of Cavan right now, Trainman is a lot happier to just jump in and throw himself right into the middle of the fights with the calls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sniper going for a BKB. Oh, as I don't know if Steven was looking to make a play here, but Seer and Koi doing a bit of damage, and PK looks like he might go down here as well.
No ulti.
No
That's
ulti.
unfortunate. Bleeding both supports on the side of the void. I'm not sure what Steven was doing, or Patter, maybe just going for an aggressive ward or something. But anyway, they will get picked off. And we did see the Timbersaw being able to play in that fight, how quickly he did burst the Tiny. So maybe Steven's going to find it a little bit harder to play in the middle of these fights, which he's kind of done recently. Dan just pointing out those two, or Malou just pointing out those 2 wards there that Patter must have gotten in the triangle, right? So that is what he gave his life for. Hopefully they pay off in the end, but we shall see.
Big Tormentor coming in from this side of Cavan Champions. Rockley needs to be careful, and he's going to get rewarded with the shard for all the life that he's given up there.
Lovely, yeah. Great shard, obviously. On bench, very, very strong. This sniper as well just has so much net worth. I mean, he has the MKB, has the BKB, has the pike and the shard, and also like took out the alchemist in net worth in that fight again. So I think Norbert's played great this game. Like, he's done such a good job of dodging around the fights, but now his net worth is at such a great critical mass. He's doing so much damage in these fights.
Yeah, and even just the fact that like the entirety of this game he's been able to keep up on net worth with an alchemist, which is no easy feat.
No, super well
especially as he didn't go Maelstrom, did he? No, so like hasn't just built to farm the entire game and has still managed to keep his net worth up very high, which is quite impressive. And it looks like the Void are looking to make a play here, perhaps.
It's worth highlighting here, which you always highlight, that Dawnbreaker did just see the entire map from daytime, so they saw that all these heroes are here. So Cavan should have a pretty good idea that they were looking to do something here, but we shall see.
Yeah, and they are going to start making a play. Sniper, though, has a haste rune, which is going to be enough to just get him out. And no damage from either side, really, but looking maybe at coming back in from the Void. Cavan
It's hard
was
to know
beaten
how
very
much
hard.
Cavan want the fight to start the fight here. Like it does feel like they kind of want to just be playing around the alchemist and then counter initiate. So we'll see if that's what happens here, because otherwise their fight starting is like kind of just Venge Swap or Dawnbreaker throwing a hammer or something, which isn't exactly the most effective. So yeah, I imagine they'll probably just farm up and wait for the counter initiation. Go on.
Yeah, the void popped the smoke there. I think they thought the alchemist was more towards the triangle, um, and we're looking for a kill there, but didn't find anything with it. They are going to take control of this triangle though and push Cavan back a little bit into their side of the map. Koi does need to be careful here. He's a little bit disconnected from the rest of the team, and right in the midst of all the Cavan boys is Steven is doing the same as well and finds himself behind enemy lines as the fight
Yeah,
looks
it's
like
not
it's going to
planted.
break out, and Norbert is going to get swapped away from Koi, which may have been... Oh, but he does go into Seer. The damage is good. The BKB gets popped, and he's going out. Heron on the side as well is doing damage to Koi, who's going to get the ulti in. Finds damage onto Patter, who has his ulti popped, and a lot of damage going out, but no kills as of yet until one more Quills comes out, and that's Jojo Baggins going down on Dark Willow, and right here, Trainman is going to find the kill onto Holy Diver as well. Seer looking to find the kill onto Norbert, who does fall for the first time this game. At the same time, Venge is going to go down as well, and now they turn their sights to Seer and begin chasing him down. Bristleback, Snot's coming out, Quills are coming out, jumps in from Trainman, gets the call, and the damage is there. Seer is going to fall. Koi, the only one making it out alive here.
Yeah, crazy fight. I mean, that's the longest fight I've seen in a while that no one died in the first 20 seconds. But it looked at the beginning that maybe it was going to be good for Cavan, but maybe the communication kind of gap with the Venge there slowed down the kill on the sniper, and he got the BKB off. And then from there, they popped the Abaddon ulti early, which is kind of cool, because then maybe they could have killed the Abaddon, but they couldn't quite have the damage. Dawnbreaker got really low early, and then at the end of the day, once Timbersaw died, they don't really have an answer to kill this Bristleback, because Al can't really do it solo. So yeah, I think Heron played really well there, just kind of around the fight.
The swap does come in on the Bristleback, and Koi's there with the damage as well. Starbreaker is going to put the Heron kind of low, but Patter is there to save with some heals. He's going to potentially die for it. No, manages to get... Okay, Holy Diver jumps in, but Trainman is in the back. He gets the call onto Koi, but it's not enough, and it's going to cost him his life now. As Cavan look to turn this, Holy Diver blinks, chain. Steven manages to blink up onto high ground and TP away out of that. Good retaliation from the side of Cavan there.
Yeah, nice buyback by Broccoli on the Avenge, really good swap, and that made that all happen. And then obviously I think the Void still have to be scared of the Timbersaw damage. Like, he died really early in that fight. The last fight, not sure really what killed him, but once he was back in there, he was able to pump out all the damage they needed to kill Axe and Abaddon. So if Timbersaw lives, he really, really does a lot to these heroes, but obviously if he dies early, not so much able to do that. So I'm sure Void will be trying to keep him
Aaron
alive.
goes to check Roshan as there's 10 seconds left on the timer.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
And decides to walk away because it's not back up. There it goes. Oh no. Wait, is it? Okay, there's another 2
I have
minutes.
no idea how to read this clock, if I'm honest. So,
that was when it could first spawn.
Yeah,
Okay,
when it's red,
okay,
it's how
okay.
it could, and then it goes to this when it will.
Okay, that makes sense.
Both teams gonna sit back and farm for a little bit now.
Alk very close to the Silver Edge, which is big. Like, I mean, in the last fight, once he saw the Bristle hadn't died, he kind of knew he just had to run because he can't kill the Bristle solo. But with the Silver Edge, that's a lot more possible. So that's a pretty good way for Cavan to try to play these fights differently now.
Yeah, and also it could give an opportunity to get onto the sniper in the backline if the vision isn't set up right from the side of Void.
Yeah, for sure.
And we did see this fight that the sniper can die.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he was super targeted. I think they literally threw everything on to him with Cavan, but he definitely can die, so you're right.
So 9k lead from the side of the Void. 34 minutes into the game. They're looking for that rush before they make their next high ground push. Is there any big items coming up from anyone?
Going Scythe on Timber, which is makes sense. He just needs another way to disable these heroes while he can kill them.
Very close to Shiva's on Axe. The sniper is just shipping out the Satanic as well, which is going to be massive.
That's huge. I mean, they're barely able to kill him right now. Plus the Satanic, that's going to be amazing. I also really like the Shiva's pickup on Axe. Not always a item that Axes pick up, but against the Alchemist will do lots of work. So I like that pickup a lot. They're TPing in here, but I think Void are ready for them.
Made. Koi gets the Starbreaker out. He gets swapped out by the Venge, which is going to keep him alive, but the Venge is going to lose their life for it. Norbert's getting gone on in the back line, and Dawnbreaker's coming in with the ultimate. BKB gets popped, and Sniper is able to walk out here as Avalanche comes in from Steven, keeping Holy Diver in place as the damage goes down, and they find Koi in the back line as well. Norbert begins tapping away, and that's going to be Holy Diver going down on Timber as well.
Yeah, Alchemist not really playing in that fight. I don't know, was he not near enough to begin, or if he just didn't really want to be part of it. But yeah, they never had his impact. And I think Holy Diver getting on the Sniper, but then once he had that BKB and Satanic, he was just too hard to kill. And the one place you don't want to be as Holy Diver is in the middle of all the other 4 heroes with them hitting you, right? So he felt a bit stranded there once the Sniper kind of got out of kill range, and that was that.
Yeah, and I think Seer not coming in for that fight could be a real detriment to them now, as
Yeah.
things are beginning to happen.
That's a buyback on
trees are
Timber
getting
Saw there
pushed
as well,
in.
by the way. So that's going to be that scythe a long way away.
Yeah, and in Dawnbreaker now, still another 30 seconds before they're back up. Do they have ultimate when they are back in? Probably not.
Dawnbreaker maybe.
Okay, they will have it when they're back in.
Yeah.
So,
I was going to say, like, otherwise, besides the ulti, I think Dawnbreaker's kind of found it hard to have impact this game. Do you feel that way?
yeah, they're getting a bit of damage onto heroes in the backline, but once the stun comes in on top of them from the avalanche or anything, or if they get called, a lot of damage gets dropped, and they don't have the option to sustain like they would if there was a bit less burst damage on the side of Cavan, or on the side of Void, sorry.
Now, they are smoking towards this Roche, and they might get there in time, I think. So this could be a big play here. And they jump on the axe.
Going down. There's first contact as Axe is found, pops the BKB and manages to get out, but gets swapped back in by Brock Lee. Calls nothing as Roshan does go down in the back line, and Aegis is put onto Norbert. Now Holy Diver is going on Steven as Steven gets the Cursed Crown on top of him. He stuns Bristleback at the same time.
Not sure how much Cavan still want to play here, it seems.
Oh, they do find Steven.
Nice, okay.
And this brings down into a 4 versus 5. The Seer Alchemist ulti is almost gone though. Bristleback TP's out. Holy Diver looking to try and find PK in the back line. He's going to pop the TP. Koi looks for him, and they see him just disappear.
Good TP's out by the Void.
Don't. They're still looking.
Oh yeah. It kind of felt at the beginning that maybe they weren't sure if they wanted to go in or out on that fight. Like they kind of postured a bit back and forth, but then they were able to find the Tiny in the end. I think maybe like it seemed like they could have, like the axe got caught initially, and it just seemed like they maybe could have blown him up if they used more spells. I'm not sure, but he did live anyway. I got the BKB off.
Axe jumps in, looks for a call, but doesn't manage to find anything, and damage is going to come out onto him. And now they're on top of Sniper, which is not where Sniper wants to be. He's going to fall for the first time as Aegis goes down, and damage is coming out onto Trainman in the back as Seer is chasing him down. Avalanche from Steven helps him get away, but they have the damage now onto Sniper. He's going to get the Hurricane Pike, put a bit of distance between him, pops a Satanic and turns and starts fighting. Manages to find Holy Diver and the Venge, and they're going to find Koi here as well, who's going to go down. Now Seer has to turn and run, and what was a good fight to start off for Cavan just turned terribly very, very quick.
Yeah, I think it's just that was I mean, kind of a crazy fight. It seems like Bristleback just is kind of unkillable right now. Like just did so much damage in that fight. At the beginning, with Axe having no BKB, it looked good for Cavan and it looked like they would be able to pop him easily. But then Alk was kind of hitting him early, and that reduced his damage. And they just weren't able to really hit heroes. So really well kited out by the Void, even with Axe not having a BKB. And yeah, now they're running it down. Timbersaw has no buyback. Dawnbreaker has no buyback, and they're definitely going to take a couple of sets of racks here.
Yeah, and they don't even wait for the creeps as they start going through backdoor here as well. The damage is really starting to stack up on the side of the Void. They're going to lose their top racks. I imagine the mids is going down as well. And there's little answer that Cavan has for them right now. Maybe a swap from the Venge to start a fight, but who do you even want to swap here that's standing near enough for it? Probably not the Bristleback.
No, and they're just finding it so hard to, like, they got the Silver Edge on the Alk, but they're not really able to get on the Bristleback with it. Like the last fight, he was on basic full HP the entire time, like no one did anything to him, and just walks around like doing damage to all the supports, and eventually they can't outlast it. And it just feels like there's so many other issues from the Void that they can't really target the Bristleback with the Silver Edge and their burst damage, and at that stage he's just going to kill them anyway, you know?
Yeah, and it looks like it's the beginning of the end for Cavan.
Yeah, this is a tough...
hit his timing and is past it now. There's a 21k lead on the side of the Void. one more rack standing between them and the Megas. 3 more towers standing between them and the Ancient.
Yeah, and I do think, like, if you like watching this game, the Void did outplay Cavan on the map. There's no doubt. Like, I think they made really good rotations in the early game with Steven. I think Train Man's played really well with all his calls. To be honest, in the mid game, like, just excellently played. And also Norbert winning his mid lane and putting back this Timber Saws game. Oh my God, what is going on here with the?
Steven jumps in, looks for the toss back onto Seer, puts him a bit out of position, but might get caught out. And Train Man jumps straight in with the BKB, caught in the back line. Damage coming out, but no one dying just yet as Sniper is coming in now. Shrapnel goes down. Train Man is going to fall for it. Sniper looking for damage on the side, manages to find the Broccoli Vengeful Spirit, and now Holy Diver has thrown himself right into the mix, but that may have been too much. He pops the Ags to try and get a bit of damage reduction, and it's managing to keep him alive for a bit longer. There's going to be a big pop, but damage comes out after the pop, and they manage to find Koi then on the back as well. Now Dawnbreaker Ultimate coming in, it's going to be enough to take Steven down. They turn their attention to the Bristleback. Seer decides not to go and go straight for the Abaddon, but the damage comes in from him. The Quills killing him. Now they're looking to make the play, diving deeper and deeper from the side of the Void, going right for the game. Get the Venge a second time around. That's a dieback from the Venge. They turn their attention to Seer, who has no ultimate.
Rampage from the
damage
Sniper.
coming out. Rampage from Sniper. They turn their attention to Koi. Shrapnel coming in. Another Rampage from the Sniper.
Oh my God.
And that's a team wipe on the side of Cavan Championships. No buybacks. GG is called.
Well,
That
what a
was
crazy
gonna be
last
game.
fight. Like, that was a mad jump in by Steven on the Tiny there. Like, it looked like it wasn't going to work out, and then they just realized, wait, we actually still can't kill this Bristleback, even with all our heroes. And Timbersaw just kind of gets bursted down. It was sad, like, he jumps in there, and both Sniper and Bristle have their BKBs, and Timber has literally nothing to go through this BKB. And he just dies off, and even what looked like maybe a dodgy fight with Axe getting taken out early turns into a win for the Void, and another 1-1 series in Division 2.
Yeah, absolutely incredible plays from the Void there. Void really addressing the issues that they had the first game round. Really just shut me up with the questions about the damage that they would have had
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
the likes of the Dawnbreaker, the Timber, the Alchemist, and yeah,
Norbert playing really
exceptional.
well. Like, he really carried the damage on that team. I don't mean Bristleback, like, obviously was unkillable the entire game, but just even there, obviously he got the double rampage. But the damage on the Sniper, really the entire game, he was kiting them around and impossible to kill, and played super well. I also think the Tiny played super well. Like, really made lots of plays in the mid game that led to this advantage that the Void had. Generally, I would say the Void outplayed Cavan on the map for sure. And this Timbersaw not having the damage he needed to kill off these tanky cores really caused difficulty for Cavan.
Something I
Yeah,
noticed is the Tiny actually four-staffed in and then blinked to get back to the racks that jump on that last
Oh
fight.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Sick.
Nice. Okay, well, I
Alright.
mean, that is the end of this series. It was 1-1. I think we can say a great series, really well played by both teams. I'm sure everyone's, I mean, both are happy with one victory, I'm sure. This probably
Gonna
doesn't
do a
change
quick.
the standings at all, right? Does it?
I think there is a change to the standings. Let me just take a quick peek here. I think that does bump Cavan up. Yeah, so Cavan are currently tied with 3 points with Cobalt Camp and Stinky Steve and the BO Boys. So this is going to push them up into a solid second place here.
Okay.
And Void are now a point up, and that is going to take them away from the bottom of the table and put them tied with Cavan. Or no, sorry, not with Cavan. Tied with Cobalt and with Stinky Steve and the BO Boys as well.
Lovely. Okay. Well, some nice shifting around in Div 2, even though every series seems to be a draw. But yeah, some more hype Dota. So thank you everyone for joining us. That was IDL Season 4, The Void versus Cavan Champions, and it was a 1-1 game. Once again, for anyone here joining us for the first time, please do join the Dota 2 Ireland community. You can do !Discord in the Twitch chat to get the Discord, and also !Socials for our socials. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Asgrav.
I've been Enigma.
And yep, we hope you enjoy the games, and chat to you later.